Alright, I should be alive. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. So I'm a bit late. I had to do my shake. I had to get my shake all ready, and I also had to shave my head, which honestly took a little bit longer than I expected. Got to be careful when you're razoring your skull. Hey, this is Dark. Hello there. Hello there. Go to Obi-Wan. Alright, load up, y'all. No, 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 no. Alright, we're gonna get back on track with the MSQ. Gonna try and hammer away. Gotta make sure V can't catch up to me. Hey, Paris, what's up, man? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Gotta make sure Ivona cannot catch up to me. I got to make all the way to Shadowbringers as soon as possible. So yeah, gonna hammer away, gonna hammer away, gonna hammer away. Hammer time. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead as my Dark Knight, because as far as we've gone so far, the Samurai class didn't get any. I got more unique dialogue from switching to an Aura than I did being a Samurai. So I think we're just gonna switch to my Dark Knights as the preferred class to actually play. So we're just gonna switch to that for the rest of this. I was trying to level up my Pugilist a little while ago, but the class is a lot of positionals. Like nearly every ability has a unique positional you got to keep track of, and that feels like a headache to me. I might still level it up to max just because, you know, I want to level up most of the classes. But that being said, it's probably not going to be a class I'm going to play very regularly. Pugilist, Monk, either way. Too many positionals. I don't like it when my attacks rely on... like, having, like, one or two attacks, like, very significant ones, have, like, a bonus for certain... But to really optimize playing a Monk / Pugilist, you really need to keep your eye on those positionals and keep them going consistently for your damage output to be the proper amount. Monk is one of the hardest to master in the game, and yeah, and it makes sense that it should be, because it's the martial arts one. I think inherently that comes with the theme of it being a practice or a technique, or you know, definitely skill-based playing for the class. So yeah, makes sense to me. Shirt's all itchy. Leshy. Hello! Oh yeah, by the way, I got the Regalia Mount. And real quick shout out to Angry Cupcake. Because he gifted me the Cruise Chaser. Which, come to think of it, when he mentioned, he asked, like, hey, do you have the Cruise Chaser? For some reason, I thought he was talking about the Regalia, and my mind just didn't, like, hey, the names are different. He said that on yesterday's Total War stream, so credit to him, and he sent his early birthday present, which I really appreciate, and it's also his birthday coming up. I didn't ask for the specific date. No, it's kind of awkward to ask a stranger their birthday, but you know, I said happy early birthday, and I thanked him a lot for it, and I really did appreciate it. It was pretty cool. You know, it's one of those things, though. I don't expect people to spend money on me for my birthday, though, you know. But I really do appreciate it. Like, you know, as someone who was not expecting any gifts this birthday, you know, because I'm 22. My dad's one of those, you know, one of those hard people who's like, you know what, you're 18, you're an adult. I'm not getting you any more gifts. That's pretty much what my dad said, and my dad stuck to it. Ever since I turned 18, my dad's never gotten me another birthday gift. My mom, credit to her, she did actually do something for my birthday month anyway, and helped me out majorly. So I appreciate her for that. My sister doesn't have the finances to give me anything, nor do I want her to. And before anyone like thinks down on my dad or anything like that, my dad's just an old school kind of guy. You know, he was raised by a pretty hard guy as well, military. So from his perspective, it's getting gifts is for kids, you know, unless it's Christmas. Christmas, everyone gets gifts. Everyone's, you know, trying to show their appreciation for one another. But for birthdays, he sees it as like a kid thing. Like if you're a little kid, getting gifts on your birthday to make you feel special makes sense. Once you're an adult, it's kind of like one of those things that you got to stop doing. So I understand where he comes from for that. He's just a hard criminal. Yeah. So might we have a recap since it's been a while? What do you mean? Yeah, it depends on what you mean by recap. And if you want to know where we are, you know, you can watch the other streams. I'm not sure why. Oh, explain that one to me. Like recap of the story? Or like a recap of like... I'm not sure, again, I'm not sure what you mean by recap. I want to know where we are in the story. Okay, in the story, thus far, we finished up everything in Doma, assumingly. We helped the Domans get their territory back. We beat, we unfortunately lost, again, names. I don't know what it is about names. Like, the moment I don't, like, if I'm not using them daily, they slip out of my brain. But we, Gosetsu, thank you. Thank you, brain, for clicking there. We lost Gosetsu, he died. The evil chick, the evil viceroy, thankfully, at the very least, if we're gonna lose Gosetsu, at least she got crushed in the process. Thank Christ. Past that, we're back at Roger's Reach, and now we're about to, not Castramorians, Veladina. We're about to siege Veladina. I'm assuming it's gonna be a dungeon. Yotsuya. Yeah. I don't particularly care to remember her name. She's dead. I'm happy she's dead. Call it good there. What's up, Jalen? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, again, I'm not sure what you want from me for a recap. If you want to know where we are in the story, you can always check out not the previous, well, even the previous stream, I pretty much said where we are. But the stream before last, in terms of FF streams, you just check right there. Have you not been watching them? Hey, Happy Night Parade. What's up, Drawl? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, again, thank you to Angry Cupcake for the Cruise Chaser, man. Much appreciated. Early birthday gift. Alright. So, as I said before, for anyone just joining into the stream, I'm switching to playing Dark Knight for the rest of the expansion. Samurai I was hoping there would be some kind of unique dialogue or something, but so far no character has mentioned it. And I think if it was going to be mentioned at this point, it would have been mentioned while we were in Doma at the very least. But nope, never got mentioned once. Never really came up in dialogue. So just gonna switch to Dark Knight. Good lunch break, chilling for now. Nice, nice. Hope it's a relaxing lunch break. You can make it through the rest of your shift, lad. I believe in you. Satisfying answer. Alright. Tally ho! Let's see. So now we need to go to Ralger's Beacon. A nice leisurely drive. Then, oh, I probably should turn the volume up. Nope, that's not what I wanted. It was 9, right? Trying not to fuck with this shit. There we go. Master volume 41. Okay, so actually no, never mind. The volume is already up to what it needs to be. There we go. Alright. Tally ho. Eating curry and naan bread at the moment. So a nice Indian lunch. Indian cuisine. That is Indian, right? Yeah, naan bread is Indian. I think the sad part is I remember that because on a comedy special I watched from Gabriel Iglesias, he did like a comparison between Mexican culture and Indian culture. So, for some reason I always like call back to that, like when remembering certain details. I'm pretty sure, yeah, naan bread is supposed to, as Gabriel Iglesias described it, it's a fluffier form of a tortilla. I've only had naan bread twice in my life. Once when we were traveling through New York, and another time when there was a restaurant that opened up here. Not in this town, obviously. We live in the neck of the woods. Opening up a restaurant around here, not really smart. A bar, oh, definitely open up a bar around here. Lots of people drink in this area. Talam. Oh, I'll do that later. I know what that is. I'll do that later. Yes, Alright, so we're gonna go around the other side. I do really like the Regalia Mount. I was not expecting it to have a quest line. If I had, I would have recorded it. But when I went to start the event, I didn't realize it was questing until I literally grabbed the quest. So, fortunately, I just played it through. It's good to have my own personal experiences in FF that aren't necessarily out there recorded and everything. Just some personal ones I can keep to myself. I realize it's a reference to Final Fantasy 15? No. No, reference to, maybe it's Final Fantasy 11? I don't know, it's a reference to another Final Fantasy, which is where this car is from. I'm not sure what Final Fantasy number that is. Alright, here we are. Conrad, my friend, how are you? I'm gonna have a hard time remembering any voices I did for these characters. 15, okay, it is, okay, 15. So, one numero uno more than this game. Alright. Conrad, we have arrived, my friend. How are you? I have caps lock on for some reason. Will he? Did I actually have a voice for that? I think I just voiced him raw. We'll lead the way while other units launch their own separate attacks. Remember that we need to hold out until Minago sees the flag. Got your gear in order? Any moment now. Oh, it's an instance. Okay, I thought this was gonna be a dungeon. Huh. I'll take it. They're opening fire.
It's begun then.
Indeed it has.
Good. It's the waiting that drives me mad. Standing around, knowing what's to come. I'll never get used to it.
Calm down, Nago. You're making her nervous. We've come this far, haven't we? We just need to make it the rest of the way.
Right.
Ah, we got the thumbs up.
Looks like the bastards went for the bait. The bridge is ours for the taking.
Hell yeah.
Now remember, Minago, I want you to make for the tower as soon as you see an opening and get that flag flying. We'll see to the fighting.
I won't let you down, sir.
Come then. Rolga's star shall burn bright this day.
Hell yeah. I have a really bad feeling Conrad's gonna die too. Especially since last time when we were talking to him for some quests, he mentioned about having Lise take over as commander and stuff like that. So I saw the foreshadowing with Gosetsu. That was also highly, definitely foreshadowing. Let's reactivate Grit. Yeah, I'll keep it unsheathed. Keep on moving, lads. We're going to war. Alright, here we go.
Here it comes!
Actually, can I aggro all of them, or are they stuck in their positions? I think I can aggro them. Yep, I can aggro them. Come to me, you fucking idiots! There he goes! Hell yeah. We Brits took quite a liking to curry ever since it was part of the Empire. I thought you were Scottish. Alright, then let's seize the bridge and be done with it. Aye. I also still have a sneaking suspicion Ardenwald might be a double agent, but I'm not sure. It's one of those things where we haven't interacted with him enough for me to say one way or the other. He might just be a background character. Hey, can I use this? Nope. That's a level locked. Damn it.
Take this!
Open fire! They are shooting a lot of shit. Holy crap. Stop it! Never going to give you permission to do that. You're supposed to lay down and die, don't you know? Alright. Well, let's deal with these fucking things. Taking out the artillery batteries. Come on, good in. There we go. Ugly bastard. You're next, my fuckery friend. Scotland is a part of Britain, and I've talked to some Scots who would vehemently disagree with that statement. A United Kingdom, if you will. Right. Think you're clever with all your little tricks. Think again. None of you are leaving here alive. Oh, good. Can we kill her? Good. She's not a boss fight. I was hoping for a little more personal murder. Damn it. Oh, she's doing that shit. Oh, okay. Fuck that. Bitch! I'm the papa. And stay in my field. Stay in my field of pain. Oh, fuck. Damn your AoE bullshit! Just go down, bitch. Hey! That was rude.
Meet my new friend!
You have friends? Well, that's a development. I didn't realize you had the capacity to have friends. How adorable. Come here, you cold heartless bitch!
I'll cut you to pieces!
You'll try. I'll give her this. She has a lot of health. You're a wannabe. Fuck off. Get her down. There we go. Oh, she ain't dead. How you liking the level 70 dark armor? I love it. It's better than what my glam was for the class. It's a sexy piece of armor. I hope we get another set for a level 80, but we might not. Because this is one hell of an upgrade. Gods damn you? Well, fuck you too.
No more running! No more hiding! Let's finish this!
Hell yeah. Punch her face in.
Look! The flag!
There's a flag. The flag of victory. I love the epic cinematography there, though. I did not actually expect it to zoom in on her. That's cool. Nice. Legolas time.
Alamigo! Alamigo! Alamigo!
Hell yeah! Don't die.
Yeah!
Stand your ground! It's not over yet!
Oh, I beg to differ.
Damn it!
Why didn't she just say, stand your ground, it's not over yet? Runs like a
Let
bitch.
them go, Lise. We've done what we came here to do. That's enough for now.
Oh, jeez. Really? Can't you guys, you know, represent us a little bit better than that? Why are we losing so bad? Really? Y'all are disgraces. Yes, finally. The one-armed guy is doing better than all y'all. Weak-ass bitches. Come on. Literally saved by the bell.
Villadina is fallen? Impossible.
Impossible.
We have them on the run! Forward! No mercy!
Regroup! Regroup! We have to regroup! All units, fall back!
No, keep running. You need to stay way ahead of the pack, Mr. Bull. They were getting cut down, but given who they serve under, I'd imagine they highly trained. They'd have to be. They'd have to be just to survive being under the Viceroy. Or the Prince.
Commander, the 4th cohort has been routed. We'll be at the mercy of the enemy's reinforcements if we don't fall back now.
And if you fall back now, you'll be at the mercy of your your little prince there.
Idiot! We have the stronger force by far. Don't be taken in by their tricks. Or would you rather tell Xenos you lost to this rabble?
No, but if the snakes betray us in the confusion, we'll have no way out. I'm begging you, Commander. Give the order, or we'll all die here.
As common traitors who drank of muddied waters. For all the good it did us. School's with me! The day is theirs, and so is this bastard bridge. Someone bring the snake.
The snake?
I suppose. It's our first victory, isn't it? And that has to be worth something.
A victory is a victory. Up through Eureka for the elemental armor and dark Eureka relic weapon. Ooh. Still love my extended family across the border to Southport. It's one hell of a dark glam. Nice. They were getting cut down. Yeah, they were. They're getting eviscerated, which is kind of embarrassing. Like I don't think other than the Mad Bull, did we see anyone take down a Garlean there? Lise is a terrible character. I think she's definitely naive. I'd say I've seen worse characters in this, though. I think Alphino's worse. He's getting better, but he's still worse. The Snake Ladies, there's 2 tribes you met. 1 tribe already were the ones in the resistance. Okay, there's another one. Yeah, she's okay. Yeah, she's not a great character. She's not a bad character. I would say she's suffering from the fact that we didn't get too much attention on her in A Realm Reborn or Heavensward. Up to this point, we've had very minimal focus on her, so I think that's what's hurting. Definitely hurting the investment in her here. But welcome, Christopher. I have to ask, why is Lise so hated? I never understood why in all my time playing. And I don't know. Like, as far as my investment into the character goes so far, I like her for the most part. I mean, I think the only major problem with her is, again, she lacks that development with our character and a connection with her. More actually emphasized in A Realm Reborn and Heavensward. We've had pretty much just before, literally, the most amount of character development we got for her was literally just before we started Stormblood. Like, it kind of felt like one of those moments where the writers are like, oh shit, we planned for her to be the main, like, one of the main characters in this expansion, but we didn't bother developing her properly, the rest of it, so, oh quick, we gotta throw something in real quick. So they threw in the reveal that Lise is not, like, Ida is not really, they threw that in that reveal, but in my humble opinion, I think that kind of hurt them. Personally, I think it kind of hurt them. Because they really needed to build something. The thing is, it didn't even feel impactful. Because as far as our character is concerned, we never knew Ida. Lise has always been the Ida we've known. So it really didn't have any kind of weight to it. Didn't really have any kind of impact to it. It just kind of fell... I won't say it fell flat. And it was significant, and I was kind of surprised. But I was more surprised that the reveal was happening without any reason to feel... I don't know. It felt hollow a little bit. Like, it felt like it mattered to the characters who've known Ida longer than we have, but because of how little development and interaction we had with Ida outside of like group Scion activities, it fell flat. She gets worse, in my opinion, as Stormblood goes on. And I haven't noticed her get any worse. She's been pretty consistent. Well, she's been consistent with how they established her at the beginning of Stormblood to now. I haven't seen a change. Now, that in itself you can count as a negative because there hasn't been an upswing. You know, we haven't. Her character hasn't improved, in my opinion, throughout Stormblood. It's just stayed the same. She's kind of plateaued. Character development-wise. Everyone else gets more development and characterization. Lise, like Stormblood, doesn't really stand out amongst the crowd. And yeah, she's white bread, basically, very plain. That's one way to put it, yeah. She just springs on you all of a sudden, going from Ida to Lise, worthless, and I don't want to say any more because of spoilers, but she is just terrible throughout the whole DLC. She's literally forced down our throat for no reason. Well, the thing is, now it could, maybe there's something for you personally throughout your experience that really, like, made you dislike the character. I would say that it's not like she's being forced down my throat, necessarily. It feels like she's being given a spotlight without any kind of prior establishment why she deserves that spotlight. But in terms of, like, bringing out any kind of hatred, any kind of dislike, or even discomfort, honestly, it doesn't affect my enjoyment at all. And it's mainly because the story's not solely about her. And actually, in some ways, it might have been better if we had had a whole patch dedicated to learning more about Lise and Ida and their backstory. But even without that, I'd say it's just meh. Like, there's no negativity. It doesn't hurt my experience. It doesn't affect it in any way, really. I'd say it's just meh. And otherwise, Stormblood in itself as an expansion so far has been alright. I've liked the aesthetic of the new zones. I've liked some of the questing. And some of the stories have been good. I liked Gosetsu a lot. He was pretty cool. But otherwise, I'd say it's just okay. And it's one hell. I'd say what hurts Stormblood and Lisa's story, what hurts the whole package of Stormblood the most so far, is not only the pacing. The pacing, even like if we ignore every other expansion, we just focus solely on Stormblood as its own contained stuff. Its pacing's a little rough. It feels like it drags at times arbitrarily, which I don't like. But it's only here and there. It's not all the time. It's just dragged at very specific moments. So definitely more. I'd say it's dragged more than A Realm Reborn ever did for me. But to be fair, in A Realm Reborn I did a lot of side quests. I did a lot of side activities and learned about the zones I was leveling in as I was going. I took my time a lot more with side quests for that. So a lot of things got more embellished and developed for me. Whereas every expansion since then, I've been focusing solely on the MSQ and only doing a couple side quests here and there that were blue unlocks. But, yeah, I'd say the pacing issues for Stormblood are definitely present. But I think what hurts it the most, on top of its pacing issues, is the fact that it's following the near perfect expansion of Heaven's Ward. Heaven's Ward was such an amazing act in itself. To follow that up was... I almost feel bad for the devs. It's like, that's one hell of an act to follow up. And I'm so shocked people keep telling me Shadowbringers is, oh, this infinite, like, skyrocket better experience than Heaven's Ward even. And I'm like, eeh, careful now. Because people have set my expectations so high that I feel like people are going to get mad at me if I'm underwhelmed by what they've set it up with. I really wish people would stop hyping it up for me. Because people have hyped it up so damn much that my expectations I don't think are reachable for the story of Shadowbringers. But I could be wrong, but my expectations have been set so damn high. Honestly, I feel bad for the expansion going in because I inherently have an expectation now. And I think that if that isn't met, I'm probably gonna say some things that aren't really super positive about it, and the community's gonna lose their shit at me. Because, you know, oh, well, why didn't you like it as much as it is? Because you all told me it was God tier and it's only Angel tier, you know? So I think people are doing me a little bit of disservice by hyping it up. Now, don't get me wrong. It's good to say, hey, it's gonna be really cool. You're gonna love it, and it's really good. It's one of the best. Enjoy it. If you leave it at that, but people have said some crazy shit, like saying it's 10 times better than Heaven's Ward, 3 to 4 times better than Heaven's Ward. When you say stuff like that, you're setting such a high bar. I don't think that's fair. I feel like she's just kind of there, which is funny since she's the face of the expansion, but I can understand what you mean. I mean, yeah. I understand. I can see that Square Enix needed someone to be the face, so they picked her for reasons that will become clear later why the others couldn't be chosen. She's nowhere near the level of hate she's nowhere near the level of hatred deserved of, say, Sakura, Naruto, or Haruka, Yakuza 6. I don't know the Yakuza reference, but Sakura, I hated Sakura, but that's mainly because of how she was. Like, she improved a little bit at the beginning of Shippuden, but, like, as Shippuden went on, she kind of... Yeah, I don't have a super high opinion of Sakura from Naruto. But I don't think you're supposed to. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the original writer was thinking with her. I think it kind of just forgot her and focused on the Sasuke versus Naruto stuff, which was in itself really engaging. But Stormblood is crucial to explain a lot about the world, and they need to put in a lot, especially with introducing new races and lore about the world and its fall. The ending of Stormblood and the expansion before Shadowbringer is very important and actually good. Okay. Keep them low, enjoy the surprise if you can. That's what I'm trying to do, but again, other people are trying to hype me up so much. I think they're hoping that their hyping won't give me an unfair perspective, but because it inherently is at the back of my mind, even though I'm trying to keep my expectations fair. But with everything everyone said, you can't help but like conjure up ideas in your head, like, oh, what are they gonna do? But I do feel bad for Shadowbringers once I go in, that if it doesn't immediately, like, wow me in every single factor, that people are gonna get mad at me that I'm not reacting like, oh my god! Like, because again, they're setting up that subconscious, like, I'm expecting God tier, and if it's only Angel tier, I'm not gonna be as wowed. So I'm trying to keep myself at a fair level, but I just hope people stop hyping me. It's okay to get me... I should rephrase that. It's okay to hype me, like make me excited for it, but just say like, oh, it's really good and it's one of the best, if not the best expansion. Just say that, leave it at that. Anything higher than that for praise or trying to like say it's, oh, this much times better than Heaven's Ward, or comparing it to my experiences already and saying it's this much more better. Careful. Because I think that's unfair to do at any expansion. Bro, the writing on Shadowbringers is a new level unseen since Tolkien. Oh boy. Funny you'd say Angel tier. So what you did there, decision. Sure, that's a reference. Sakura is a Kate. So yeah, it's lines like that, Christopher. Bro, the writing of Shadowbringers is a new level unseen since Tolkien. Bro. If you watch my Shadowbringers streams and my reaction is... okay. That's alright. That's pretty cool. If that's my reaction and you get mad at me, I want you to remember that line you just said. Bring your memory back to this moment and realize, ah, shit, I said this to him. And his expectations were set because of that. And his reaction was geared towards God tier, and it's actually only Angel tier. I'm sure I'll enjoy it. Like, I'm sure this praise doesn't come from no basis. But I think people should stop overhyping me. Soccer is a case of 1 step forward, 2 or 3 steps back. Pretty much, yeah. I'm still... Yeah, the thing is... Rant. Very short rant, because we gotta get back to this. But, I'm sorry. I still rage. Like, in Naruto. Not Naruto, but Naruto. Towards the end, where they're... Spoilers. Well, I shouldn't have to give a spoiler. Naruto's been out for decades. But, in Naruto, when they're all chasing after Sasuke after he's been, well, not captured, but after he's been taken in by Orochimaru's henchmen, and he's being taken to him to become his new host and power him up and make him ultra powerful and shit like that. during that, when they were chasing all that down, you'll notice fucking Ino didn't go, and Sakura didn't go, and neither did Hinata. Some of them had excuses. Sakura didn't. She just said, "Bring him back to me." Why didn't you go and help, you? I'm sorry, I still rage about that. It's like, you could have fucking gone and helped. But you didn't. Why? Sorry, I remember that, like, that for me was the moment I went from being kind of peeved or dislike of her character to hating her character. I will cease the hyping. And that's their fault, not yours. And yeah, but people are gonna get mad at me. Like, it doesn't matter if it's other people's fault or not. People are gonna get mad at me if I have a subpar reaction. Like, at the end of the day, it's how I handle it that matters. Other people can say whatever they want and no repercussions. Sakura, help? I know, right? I wouldn't say Tolkien, more like Game of Thrones TV series in its prime. I'll watch you during Shadowbringers, and if you don't go what the fuck during the first 2 plots, I'll eat my words. Okay, okay. I'm holding you to that. I'm holding you to it. Alright, Lise. It's a shame Fordolo got away, but we did what we came here to do. I have to remind myself it's just the first step, but it's a big one. We're going to take it back, all of it. One ilm at a time if we have to. I'll probably take the materia. Your work is far finished. Conrad news. Alright. There's still a chance that some Imperials are holed up inside the castellum. We'll need to search it top to bottom to be sure it's safe. Ah, here's the dungeon. In the meantime, I want you to rendezvous with the main host. Keep your weapons at the ready. There's a chance you might come face to face with soldiers on the run en route. On second thought, it might be prudent of you to do a preemptive sweep of the region for soldiers that have gone to ground. We shouldn't afford them any time to regroup and launch a counterattack. When you've judged your work to be done, report to General Alden in Bittermill. Oh no. Huh. It's not a dungeon. Never mind. Well then. Riding along in my vehicle. Riding in style, gentlemen. Riding in style. It is a cool car. I kind of think of Batman when I look at it, though. Batman! Well, I'm allowed to be an idiot. Stormblood definitely has its place. It's a great expansion on the game. But when you're compared to others during FF, then it's lackluster. It's still a lot of fun. Yeah, I've had fun for the most part. I think it just drags at times a little bit. And definitely, again, I think the thing that hurts it the most is it's following up Heaven's Ward. And that's one hell of an act to follow. Come to Papa! Yes, it's time to die. Ow! He stunned me! You dick! I will say this, the music in Stormblood has been fantastic. I've loved the music in this. Heaven's Ward had, in my opinion, better music by my tastes, but the music in Stormblood has been fucking amazing. Very thematic, very kind of high energy too. I really love the soundtrack in Stormblood so far. I'll say this, I liked the Far East zones. I'm not a huge fan of Garabanya, at least what of it we've seen, but it is supposed to look like a desolate wasteland in a war zone, so that's kind of why. But I should specify the fringes looks rough to me. They stepped up their music game since Heaven's Word. Maybe you also hate sand? Well, it is coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Hello there. Spammable AoE, bitch! Alright. I will say that is one hell of an improvement. From WoW to FF, I think being able to spam infinite AoEs is fucking amazing. The AoE cap was some of the dumbest shit So I don't want to rant about that, but that just came to mind. This should never be an AoE cap. I hate that shit. I ain't doing the fate. Stop asking me to. Bastard. Rubon, my good lad, how are you? Hey, look, it's the twins. Oh my god, they look so short compared to us. Sometimes I forget how small they are compared to everybody because the camera zooms in on Alphino and Alize so much. Well met. All's well at the bridge. Good, good. The fighting has died down here too, as you can see. Pippin left but a moment ago with a contingent of troops to occupy Veladina. If and when the Imperials return, they'll find us dug in behind their own walls. I could not have hoped for a better outcome, General. Splendidly done. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It'll take more than one Castellum to turn the tide. My men and I will deal with the remaining enemy forces. Scions, I bid you return to Commander Kemp and his men. Carry here. Delight not overmuch in victory, not when there are battles left to fight. Our work here is finished. Our resistance allies are waiting. Whatever you say, Anakin. That's the thing. I have the attitude of Anakin, but the appearance of a much more bushier bearded Obi-Wan. I get all the good shit. Alright. Look at that big guy. Kimis. It's a Pina. Back so soon. I suppose the General and his men had matters well in hand. Not earlier, they didn't. The Vice Marshal and his men showed up not long after you left. If the gods are good, there'll be no one left to fight. I know you're not one for waiting, but if you're here, bear with us. Commander Kemp, Marshal Terrapin reports that their sweep of the castle interior has been completed. So it's finally over, eh? Pray extend to him my deepest thanks. It's official then. Castellum Veladina is well and truly ours. Mayhap this calls for... Wait, where is Monago? She took her bird and flew off towards the Peering Stones, the village of the M tribe, where she was born. I doubt that the Imperials who fled Villadina had a mind to give them trouble on their way back east. But she was nevertheless worried, so I gave her leave to go and see that her people were safe. If your character could romance any other characters in the game, who would it be and why Y'shtola? It would not be Y'shtola. I've said this before. I would say... I stand by this still. I was double checking in my mind if anyone in Stormblood took my fancy. I would probably say Hilda. I don't have the wrong character in my head, do I? No, I'm pretty sure I got the right character. Well, let me double check. Nope, I have the right character. I don't know why I doubted myself for a second there. I was like... Good choice. I know. Yeah, thing is, I get why people like Y'shtola, but she's not my thing. I like her. She's a cool character. Don't get me wrong, but no, I don't. No, I don't got. Not my type. Not my type at all. Agreed. Let's go to the Peering Stones and make sure that everything is all right. If that is your wish, then I have no objection. Just let the god know when you wish to cross. Quest accepted. Awesome. Alright. Greetings, son. Do you wish to pass? Yes, I do. My first choice died on me. Oh, was it Moonbreeda for you too? Yeah, she would have been she would have remained my main waifu if she had lived. It's very disappointing. Fine, mommy. I like really tall. I like actually very short story. I guess for anyone who wants to know my type, I like tall, very... How specific do I want to get here? I like taller gals. I don't particularly give a shit about hair color. I like some darker hair colors, but I also like redheads and... no, I think about it, I don't really care about hair color or eye color really all that much. But, I like taller gals. Yeah, I like gals who are taller than me, which I found is always interesting. I don't know where that comes from. Yeah, I like taller gals than me, and I also like high energy ladies. Yeah. That's kind of backfired on me in the past. I've had some exes who are high energy in the wrong ways, but I definitely like more high energy, optimistic, more optimistic energy gals. That's kind of my type. So when Moonbreeda showed up, I was like, ah, yes. And then she hugged Urianger very deeply, and I was like, never mind. Taken. The Bayonetta Lady Dimitrescu. Yep. Those are also pretty much my type for the win. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I like the taller gals. They don't like me. 99% of the girls I've met like guys who are taller than them, so obviously that's not universal, but I'd say most gals like taller guys. So for me, I'll probably never date my exact type, because I'm not, because I like girls who are taller than me. Again, don't know why, don't know where that comes from. Before anyone makes a joke about it, it's not a domination thing, because I don't like being controlled and told what to do. It's literally just, I don't know, something about a taller lady. Again, it's weird. I can't explain it. Like, I know what my tastes are. I don't know why I have them. Alright, wait. Oh, I have to go around the side. Okay. I was like, looked very blocked off. Alright, well, let's switch. Let's switch. As fun as it is to ride around in the Regalia Mount. Hold on. Press the wrong button again. There it is. Boom. I don't think anyone can explain a lot of why they have the taste that they do. That's probably true. It's probably true. That's more like snoo snoo. I think everybody likes snoo snoo. I don't think that. I think that's universal, isn't it? All right, here we go. Alright, we're about to unlock the new Aetheryte. The path to the village is through a tunnel just east of here. Follow me. Lead the way. To the new locale. Our new HQ. Headquarters. M-Tribe Ranger. Wait, they're just called the M-Tribe? Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I like that. We had a similar type setup to, in Doma, in one of the Doman villages, there was a similar kind of, tiering water thing here. I don't know, I like that kind of style. Looks cool. Alright. Alright, before I forget, Aetheryte, unlock! I attune to you. Alright, now that we're attuned, Tadeo. Monago.
Ah, you've come.
No, it's voiced.
Welcome, friends, to my village. My home.
Kind of small.
How fare your people?
Good, all things considered. Better than the Enanta at any rate. They've sent an emissary. I'll take you to her.
Oh, new development.
We're here to help. Will you tell us what happened?
Aye. It began with a quarrel between the Imperials and the Kaliana.
Oh, we're finally getting voice lines from them. I was wondering what they
The
sounded like.
Kaliana are another Enanta tribe. The strongest and the most influential. Unlike the Vera, they want no part of our troubles. They swore fealty to the Empire, and were content to remain within their borders.
Just so. The Kaliana forsook their pride in the fight and yielded to Garlemald long ago.
Snakes. Like a snake.
But then a new commander was sent to hold the Black Bridge. She demanded the Kaliana surrender a hostage, this butcher.
Fordola. It doesn't make sense, though. The Vera are the ones working with the Resistance. Why would she threaten the Kaliana?
Because she is ignorant like all Imperials. She knows not the difference between Kaliana and Vera, nor does she care to learn.
I see. All Fordola knew for sure was that the resistance would come from the
Snake
west.
lady? Yeah.
She reasoned, therefore, that if the Ananta on the east bank turned their coats, she would be trapped. I take it the Kaliana had no choice but to oblige her.
No, they did not. The Imperials left with the Kaliana broodmother's own daughter, Anamika.
Ooh.
Long days and nights she looked out on the Black Bridge weeping for her child. Until you came. The broodmother knew at once which way the winds would blow. She and her warriors met with the fleeing Imperials in the road and demanded that her daughter be returned.
Sounds like a good mom.
Bad idea. Fordola's not the kind to take threats lying down.
You know her well. The butcher turned her blade to Anamika and bade the Kaliana move aside. But the broodmother would not yield.
I know where this is going.
Did Fordola kill her?
The Kaliana surrounded the Imperials, one of whom, whether out of fear or stupidity, cut the child down.
Ah.
There was naught that could be done.
Fucking scumbags.
What madness.
Welcome to the stream, Marase Grizzly? Marase? I don't know if I said your name correctly, I apologize if I didn't. I never did understand how they could balance on the skinny tails. Magic. Maybe they're not, maybe they're floating.
True madness was yet to come. For in her despair, the Kaliana broodmother cried out for her daughter to be restored to life. She beseeched Sri Lakshmi's intercession.
Sri Lakshmi? I'm not gonna remember how to say that correctly. Sri Lakshmi.
She summoned a primal then and there?
That she did, if only for an instant. Bereft of courage and honor, the broodmother sought solace in her faith. The Imperials fled in terror at the sight of the goddess, abandoning these lands to the Ananta. Now the Kaliana bid us make pilgrimage to pay proper respects. Yet though we Vera revere Sri Lakshmi as the holiest of the holy, we will not prostrate ourselves before her.
And so you turn to us.
Aye. All who have fought with the Resistance have heard tell of the warrior, the Icon Slayer.
Me! Hi. Feels kind of random though that we have to kill a. After everything that just happened, feels kind of like abrupt that we're being sent to kill a primal. Like there was no build up to this.
Inconvenient though the timing may be, if a primal has indeed been summoned, we can scarce afford to ignore it. We must needs discuss how best to resolve this situation.
To be fair, there hasn't really needed to be a lot of build up, and it is supposed to be a surprise event. It'd be more random if we were just doing regular questing and we had faced a primal. Alright, so usually I look at tanky gear for this. Yeah, because tank gear is selling pretty good right now on the market. There were afraid, confused, and ignorant. I pity Fordola and her friends. Hindu goddess. And it's pronounced with a C like K and not like S. So it's Marake, right? So Marake. And those who tasted the bite of his sword named him the Icon Slayer. Like the Doom Slayer. Alright, we gotta kill us another primal. I see a pattern. At the risk of sounding hopelessly naive... Oh, when has that ever stopped you before? There may yet be a way to avoid a violent confrontation. When have we ever avoided fighting a primal? In the past, I fear I have been rather too willing to accept that we have no other recourse than to risk our lives, or rather, your life, to address these threats. At least he admits it. Yet the primals we have faced thus far have demonstrated a variety of temperaments and objectives. Ravana may delight in battle, but Ramu would sooner keep to the forest with his children. Ere we decide to challenge Sri Lakshmi, it would seem wise to learn more of her nature from those who summoned her onto this world. If that is your will, then so be it. To the north you will find our village, Sarisha. Sarisha shall unfold all. Righto. We shall leave at once, Manago. Can you inform our comrades at the bridge of what happened? Of course. Be safe, my friends. Alrighty then. Alphino is a practitioner of the Talk no Jutsu as of Stormblood. A well-learned practitioner. Do you unlock an Aetheryte? Yes, you do. Yeah, give me that. I do skip those. Like, I just want the Aetheryte. Where is that? Okay, that's kind of en route, isn't it? Yeah, it's en route, so we'll just do that along the way. Telly here. You, come here. Oh, I had to use it on a weekend. Ah, oh, fuck. I thought... No, damn it. We got to weaken them. No. Eyes bigger than her stomach. Yeah. La 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 la! I don't know how weak is considered weak. How about that? That enough? No? There we go. We're fitting these giant triceratop looking things inside of a sack. Nice. Alright, come to Papa. Alright, And burlap sack. Cha-ching, baby! Alright, now to the village. I have never heard the battle music for Stormblood before. I turned off the music in my game ages ago. I think I need to turn it back on. Wait, why'd you turn the music off? Like, the music is some of the best, well... yeah, it's some of the best elements of this game are the music. Music is absolutely banger in this game. Heavensward soundtrack is worth listening to on its own. Like, if they had a Spotify playlist for the soundtrack of this fucking game, I would get it. What on earth possessed you to turn off the music? It's so casual and relaxing. We do not often receive guests. What is the purpose of your visit? Greetings and well met. We are the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and we come seeking a Sadisha of the Vira. You are she, are you not? You have petitioned us for aid and succor, and we intend to provide them, but we would first learn more of Sri Lakshmi, that we might better understand the nature of the threat she poses to you. A simple request, and one which I shall gladly oblige. In the beginning was Sri Lakshmi. We were created in her image, daughters blessed with her beauty. Her breath became ours, her serenity our solace. There is naught she would not give. 'Twas the Kalyana broodmother's desire to bring about her daughter's resurrection which first called forth Sri Lakshmi from the ether. That being the case, I rather doubt the goddess will be spoiling for a fight. That would depend on the primals. That would depend. The primal's motives will have been colored by the summoner's state of mind, namely that of a grieving mother who had just borne witness to her daughter's murder. Though she apparently craved a miracle, she may also have harbored thoughts of vengeance. Moreover, the Kalyana's conception of Sri Lakshmi may differ from that of the Vira. This is true. The Vira and the Kalyana do indeed regard the Lady of Bliss in different ways. To the Vira, Sri Lakshmi embodies freedom. She would not suffer her daughters to be bound to another's will. And so we stand with the resistance against the Empire, and give our lives for the cause. The Kalyana, however, she embodies transcendental beauty, which they strive to create through their craft. To shape crystal is less art and more ritual, a sacred duty wherein each tribute is imbued with a fragment of the soul. The Imperials do not interfere with this holy work, and so the Kalyana were content to turn inward and ignore our plight. Until reality asserted itself and they summoned a primal, a fever dream to soothe their aching hearts. But surely they can see that it won't do any good. The Imperials will still rule these lands. Nothing will change. The Anata will. The Kalyana bade the Vira make pilgrimage to pay proper respects. Remember? Those who do not wish to partake of their primal's bliss will be made to do so. Not while we're around, they won't. Though our beliefs are not the same, we are still kin to the Kalyana. Will you help them see reason? You can count on us. Know that I'll kill your god if I have to. Maybe even if I don't. Wow, what a nice way to put it. I'll just say you can count on us. It sounds a little bit more optimistic. We got this. You know. We've taken care of some icons before, you know. Especially in Shadowbringers. Zone music I left on, but not the battle music in the overworld. And I turned off the mount music so that I could not hear the... So that I could hear the zones in Shadowbringers more. Okay. No way was I going to give up hearing Lahi just because I was riding my chocobo. Yeah, I turned off my mount music as well, which I didn't really mind the mount music. I kind of liked it. Gave like a thematic feel to riding on them, but at the same time, you know, it did get in the way of stuff. Then we shall, for without you, we may be powerless to stop them. If we do not act quickly, more lives will be lost, more families torn apart, more children made to suffer. Then it's settled. We're going to find that primal and put an end to this. My sister, Vera, will guide you to Jianan Kat. And I shall pray for your success. Sup? Lead the way, madame. The Vajra? Vara. Is it Vara or Vajra? Well met, scions. I am Vara, she who shines bright and unbroken. I stand ready. We leave upon your command. Very well, tally-ho. The Lady of Bliss. Alrighty. You are ready? You look ready. Dian Quat. There you find the Kalyana's crystals and Sri Lakshmi. Follow me. These names are gonna fuck me up so badly. Alright. So how far? Oh! Just a little bit north. Actually, am I supposed to be going this direction? No, I think I'm supposed to go through like a different exit in the village. Village. Hold on. Heard etherite. Ether current, I said. Not etherite, ether current. How do I get up there? No! It eludes me! Wait, hold on. Damn it. Really? Come on. I'm so close. So close yet so far. Let me go around. May I slip on around and get it, and then I can mercy on. Eyes bigger than his stomach. I still gotta turn that in, but I'm assuming we'll come back to the village, the M village, soon enough. Ether current. There we are. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Mine! Mine, 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 mine. Woo! And we'll grab that while we're at it. I'm assuming, yep, unlocks another ether. Good. I always grab those. Because it's good to get the unlocks so I can unlock flying in this damn zone. What the? A Gagana. It's a big boyd. The big boyd. Hello! Don't want to fuck with you. Tally her! Don't mind me, don't mind me. Alright. The Vara? We've arrived. Dian Kat. The path leads to an entrance above. Within is an etherite. You must use it to enter. Understood? With me, everyone. Well, that was sleeves, I think. Stormblood ether currents are sometimes in frustrating places. Sometimes, yeah. The thing is, what annoys me most about like ether stuff, hold on, is that the moment you would finish up and attune to a place is about the time when, well, the moment you attune and unlock flying in a place is about the time you leave that location. In terms of like the main questing experience, so you never really feel like you've unlocked it. It's like, hey, I've unlocked it, now I can fly and get to all my objectives faster. It's like, oh, new zone! No! Gotta do it again. But it is useful for when you backtrack during the post 0.0 expansion. So like when you're doing 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, you know. Wait, am I going the right way? No, I'm not. Not for the main objective. That's for the other thing. Leave me be, snake ladies. I am not into you. Pardon me. Still better than WoW Flight. And yeah, WoW Flight puts you through significantly more. By the time you unlock flying in an expansion in WoW, you've already moved on to a different expansion altogether. But it's not hard to beat that. I kind of wonder why she looks so human. And
why, mistress? Why does my Anamika slumber still?
'Cause she's dead.
Look thee on her face, supplicant. Thy prayer hath been answered. Flesh sundered hath been made whole. Blood spilt runneth through her veins. Breath stolen filleth her breast.
Yes, but she doesn't speak.
But she hears not her mother's words, nor sees her mother's face. She is silent and empty.
Can't bring back the soul.
Only the vessel may be remade, not so the flame which flickered within. Her soul hath been scattered to the four winds.
That's kind of cruel. That's far more cruel than that needs to be.
Now do you see her promises for what they are?
Oh boy.
Alisaie, have you gone mad?
Apparently.
Mayhap I have, but I refuse to stand by and watch yet another tragedy unfold.
And
who intrudes upon this sacred ground? Imperials, thirsting for blood.
Nope, we are not Imperials, that's for damn sure.
No! We come not to shed blood, but to save you from the false god who would lead you astray.
Yay.
I understand how you feel. I do. You loved her with all your heart, but when the moment came, you still couldn't save her. The anguish, the anger, I know it only too well. But I also know where this path leads. To embrace a primal is to condemn yourself to an endless cycle of despair. You will never know peace.
A worm-eaten heart may find peace and serenity in service, in beauty and grace. This hath ever been my promise. Naught else.
You tempt them with visions of things that can never be and leave them bereft and wanting. No illusion, however sweet, can change the fact that your daughter is gone. Remember her as she was. Do not suffer this Pity a shade to tarnish her memory.
I understand where Alice is coming from, but the direct approach never works. Unfortunately.
For every prayer that Primal answers, it'll demand payment in kind. Do you have any idea how many more Ananta will die to feed its hunger for crystals?
They would have thee suffer man's spite and live in fear. Far better to dwell in my beauteous dream than endure so ugly a reality.
She's wrong! We hate the Empire as much as you, if you just listen!
Poor misguided children. I would spare you the torments of this cruel and misshapen world. Come, bask in my radiance. Let it fill your hearts and free you from your burdens.
I hate those types. And I'd still, as much as reality does suck, I'd still rather accept it for what it is. And is it really better to live in a dreamlike state than it is to live in reality? I would say no. I'll take reality for all its shit and flaws. Fuck yeah, we got the force field, bitch.
Abide in misery then, fools. The Ananta are more deserving of my blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Leave these lands and my dreamers be. I will not warn you a second time.
Oh, and I won't warn you a second time. Knuckles are cracked and ready to kill. Yeah, that backfired about how I would expect. I'll be honest, AOZ is my escape. Well, the thing is, it's okay to take a break from reality, like play a video game and stuff like that, but like what I'm talking about is truly like trying to escape it, like living in blissful ignorance and avoiding informant. Like as much like, for example, I hate politics, 110%. I hate talking about it. I hate conversing about it. I hate it when it's brought up at family events. I hate politics through and throughout, but it's a necessity of life. You need to be, like, you live in reality at the end of the day, and you need to accept that there are certain things you're kind of obligated to understand, and one of those things I would say is, especially if you're an adult, you need to understand that as much as politics sucks, you need to stay informed. You need to know what your government is doing. You need to know what your local government is doing. You need to know what you know, you need to know where your taxes are going. You need to stay informed about stuff like that. You know, you need to stay informed and try and keep yourself educated about the latest stuff, even if it's painful. Like, this is something my dad always said, because my dad always had a political radio show and stuff going on in the car when we would be traveling places when I was a kid, right? And a lot of the times we would hear stories about horrible things that had happened to people, bad events that happened to half the world away, local government being caught doing something shady. I would hear all this stuff growing up, and I asked my dad this pretty directly. I said, "Dad, why do you listen to that stuff? You know, it's so depressing. Like, I'm like, can we listen to music or stuff like that?" And he told me flat out. And he lowered the volume of the radio, and he just kept driving. He said, he said, "I would rather live in a painful reality, but at least understand the rules of that reality, than delude myself into believing something false and deluding myself into believing a false reality." It's good to take a break and listen to music from time to time, but at the same time, if I only ever listened to music on this radio and I never knew what news was going on, if I never kept myself informed, then when eventually it came to bite me in my ass, and I lose my escapes because I didn't pay attention and wasn't able to advocate for certain bad events to stop, if I didn't stay informed and know that my local government was advocating for, I don't know, radio shows that produce music to stop producing them because it was a different market. He used an extreme example like that. if I didn't stay informed and understand certain things are going on, then I only have myself to blame when those events came back to bite me. It's always important to stay informed, even if it's painful, even if it at times it just makes you want to just fall asleep and not wake up. Sometimes it's better to know what's going on, even if it's painful, because at the end of the day, you do live in reality and you need to understand how things work and how things are going on. Information is incredibly powerful. So, despite all the horrible stuff we would hear all the time, my dad had that radio blasting the latest news of stuff going on, and he was truly listening to it. It wasn't white noise while he drived. He was paying attention. So, I do think at the end of the day, it's important to stay informed about things and to understand, and to live in reality for the most part and understand what's going on, even if it's painful, even if it's frustrating, even if it's stupid. So, even as much as I hate politics, I stay informed. I keep a track of what my federal government is doing in my country. I keep in mind what my state government is doing. I stay informed about that stuff, even if every time I look into it, it's just something more depressing, something more irritating, because it's better to live in that reality. But when I want to take a break, Eorzea is waiting for me. WoW or Azeroth back in the day, or hell, Legacy of Kain franchise with that stuff. You know, those escapists like this, it's good to have escapism. It's good to have this stuff, because we all need a break from reality. But that's the thing that people need to keep in mind, is it's a break. It's not here's your real life. You need to stay here and not like it. If someone, for example, went to Eorzea and never stopped playing the game ever and never paid attention to stuff that's going on in their real life, that would be a problem. Because that's deluding yourself into this false dream world. But escaping into one temporarily? No, I think nobody has a problem with that. And it makes sense. Everyone needs escapism. If not, you just go insane. You'd absolutely lose your mind. You just unintentionally spoiled Persona 5 Royal? Wait, what? I've never played any of the Persona games, neither have I, to be fair. Also, if you don't know how reality works, you can't act to change it in any helpful way. Exactly. That's exactly what the crux of my dad's saying was. Well, I'm not saying. What my dad was telling me as a kid. You know, you need to understand how things work, and you need to understand reality to be able to make changes to it, to improve it. You know, things like that was the crux of what he was telling me. So, at the end of the day, it really just comes down to there's a healthy level of escapism and a healthy level of living in reality, and you need to balance them. But I'll never fault somebody for, I don't know, like, they work 5 days out of the week, and then during the weekend they play, like, Saturday and Sunday, nearly the entire time they just play a game and don't look at the news, turn on a radio, they don't look at the latest events, because they just want that brief vacation from all the real crap. But you always need to remember to come back to it. As painful as it is, you always need to come back to it. Trust me, I know. I'm with all of you. Like, I'm not trying to preach like I'm above anybody here. I'm just saying, like, for those that need it voiced or would want it voiced, there it is. It's always good to balance the two. Also, fuck the Chinese government. Yeah, I generally agree with that sentiment. Especially with what they did recently with limiting gaming to like an hour a day? Oh, it was something crazy like that. Jeez. But I'm not I'm not a political channel. When I talked about getting involved in politics, I meant in my personal life. This is my escapism. I'm sure it's escapism for all of you too, so we'll not talk about that. The classic Tolkien quote about fantasy being escapist is a great example of this conversation. Is too long to type here though, so look it up in your own time, I'll guess. Here it is. Fantasy is escapist, and that is its glory. If a soldier is imprisoned by the enemy, don't we consider it his duty to escape? If we value the freedom of mind and soul, if we're partisans of liberty, then it's our plain duty to escape and to take as many people with us as we can. Yeah. And that is correct. Like, escapism is there for it. But again, I would add to it, you do eventually need to come back to reality to understand it. Escaping is definitely important because it keeps people sane. But there's a healthy level of escapism and a healthy level of living in reality. You need to kind of balance them, that's all. But yeah, that is a very good quote. And unsurprisingly from Tolkien. 2 hours a week? Is that like 2 hours a week? Like for the whole week? Jesus Christ, it's worse than I heard. Also, the ultimate power fantasy is achievable in video games, helping people and making a positive impact on their lives, and building homes if you try Dragon Quest Builders. Yeah. Well, I haven't tried that, but yeah, that is the idea. Escapism is as much about the type of escapism, but I would say, yeah, video games are a great form of escapism. In my opinion, they're the best form of escapism, because in video game escapism, you're right. You can be a great magnanimous hero saving people and making a massive impact on the world and stopping evil gods from manipulating people like we've done several times here, or stopping natural disasters, fighting wars, liberating nations. Those are all things possible for one individual to have a say in a video game, whereas in reality it takes a lot more than just one person to get anything like that done. And oftentimes when we group up to try and achieve such goals, we unfortunately have those causes that we get behind start to get hijacked by people with agendas and people with greed, and again, don't want to go too we're here to escape reality after all, but I'm just saying, like, you're very correct. We have that form of escapism against, but we also have there's also other kinds of escapism in video games. Like, look at Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing, you're not some big hero trying to save the world, you're just living life. You're living a more optimistic, optimal version of life. Look at The Sims. You're just kind of controlling and puppeteering people's lives, and sometimes that can lead to evil stuff, like building 4 walls around a character to kill them just because you didn't like how they ended up looking. There's some evil shit you can do in Sims. Or SimCity, you know, making giant cities and managing them and feeling like you have this big control of significance in the world that you control. Like, there's different video games offer such a variety of different forms of escapism for every type of person, and music provides a form of escapism for people to vibe and express their emotions in their own heads through the music and through the rhythm and through the tone and through the composition, and also through the flow and beats of the song. Like, music is another form of escapism for a lot of people, whether it's composing it or listening to it. And yeah, also artwork, drawing, like expressing yourself in inner turmoils and also inner frustrations, also inner hopes and dreams. You can all express through artwork as well. There's so many forms of escapism in the world, but I would say video games are the most easily accessible and also the most relaxing for a lot of people, including myself. Minecraft, and yeah, that's another form. That's building and constructing the world how you see it. Yeah, exactly. And video games are just one of the most perfect forms of escapism, and it offers such a level of control to the player that is unrivaled in any other form of escapism. Artwork, you could argue, is also an ultimate form, but you're also limited by the tools you can use. Like, if you're sketching or you're painting, you're limited by the resources you have at hand, like the amount of paint you have, the amount of lead you have on your pencil. Maybe you erase too much, it gets all... You know what I'm saying? It is no longer possible to try for baby with the Grim Reaper, please. Yeah, I've never tried Minecraft. Never, really. Hell, I know my grandmother who's 90. She's tried Minecraft. How have you not tried Minecraft? But DQB, Dragon Quest Builders does much the same thing, just wrapped in JRPG around that gameplay core. Yeah, I don't know much about Dragon Quest Builders. Is it on Steam? I might check it out. It sounds interesting. Well, anyway. How do you say? I know, it was stupid and foolish, but I had to try, Shroud. I had to. Yeah, I guess you really didn't, but you know, I get where you were coming from, the frustration, but at the end of the day, you gotta reel it in, my dear. You gotta reel it in. I had to try, and I failed. So you have to fight. There's no other way. Yeah. I'll wake them from the dream, never stop trying. Primals cannot be suffered to live, you know this. It's kind of dark. That's kind of true. Maybe so, but every time we must turn to you and others like you to do what we cannot. I just wish there was another way. We can but do that which is within our power. Lise, Alphino, I will go and seize their crystal stores. This will not happen again. And you, when it is finished, we will be waiting for you. Alright, now we're doing a dungeon. Okay. I was kind of surprised that the Castrum, Villadino was not a siege. That kind of surprises me. To the trial. I'm a tank, so there shouldn't be a super long queue. I haven't either, but that's partially by choice. I wasted enough time as it is. That it is. Now get back to work. For context, by the way, Jacob Jones Pierce in the chat is the main artist for Warglaive Gothic, the tabletop IP, the sci-fi grimdark tabletop IP I'm developing. So sometimes I jokingly like crack the whip. I think Dragon Quest Builders 2 might be on Steam, but I'm not sure. I've heard some things about it being on PC, but I haven't done much research on it since I've got the games on Switch. Oh, you're rich. Okay, I see. You own a Switch, so you're rich. I'm joking, by the way, but I can't afford a Switch. My money already has to go 101 other places. Alright, time to kill this bitch. Alright, so the Marauder wants the main tank, so I don't mind.
Open your heart to me.
Fuck. I was still in the radius. Going in blind on this one. And what's this do? You linger in your body temporarily disguises yourself as one of Lakshmi's loyal dreamers. Okay. Oh fuck. Crap. First time I've ever done this boss. Learn on the fly. Come on.
Rest your weary souls in my
Wait, what do
bosom.
Oh, use Vril. Okay, what the fuck was that?
From your hate.
Whoa! I just saw someone get flying off. What the fuck? I didn't know we could. I figured we probably could get flung off, but wasn't sure about that one. It's beautiful music.
Way heavy.
They roll very heavy, my dear, but that does not mean I magically like you now. Come on. Oh shit. Ah, crap. Should have walked forward. I should have grouped up on that one. Oh! Crap! How would I? How would I? What? I'm not sure how I would have avoided getting hit with that. I can't use Blackest Night. I'm leveled down, remember? I would have already been using it if I could. It's level locked. It's a level 70 ability. You should know this.
I shall free you from your hate.
I'm level synced down. I would have already been using it if I could have. So, can't. Pay attention, brother. Pay attention. Come on. I'm using what abilities I can use. Alright, everybody block on. Alright, here we go again. Damn, she will not die. Oh, not this crap again. Oh, here we go. Do we actually get her? Oh, God. So used to doing level 80 stuff? Oh, yeah, well, you gotta keep in mind, I'm not doing level 80 stuff. Minimize the backseat gaming, please. Unless I'm doing something very stupid. Then tell me. The Lotus Queen is tanky. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Told you, spongiest primal in the game. She was the spongiest? Oh yeah, you did say that earlier. Whoops. Oh no, you said that the one primal takes so long to melt. Sorry. No, you guys are good. I'm not like bashing on you. Just keep in mind, unless you guys view me doing something incredibly stupid, point it out to me, please. But if it's just like
You did it again.
If
You
it's
saved them.
Hold on.
I just wish I could have been more help.
Okay. If it's small stuff though that you think I'm forgetting to do, just before you yell out in the chat like, "Hey, use this ability," make sure I can use the ability. It is a comfy seat though. I'm sure it is. There's a healthy level of backseat gaming. And that's when I'm doing something very retarded. Or dumb. Straight up. Hope nobody gets on me for using. You did it again, you saved them. I just wish I could have done it.
So, it looks like the Ananta did have a mountain of crystals after all. Like every other tribe. Gods were all such slaves to our weaknesses.
You slew our mistress!
Yep.
She was our hope! Our salvation!
No, she wasn't. She was a liar.
No end to your cruelty!
You can live in your delusion all you want, but she was not your savior.
Listen to me, please. I know that you're only trying to protect yourselves because you feel frightened and alone. But that's how we all feel. Don't you see? If we could just turn to each other for help instead of the gods, I'm sure we could find a way to live in peace. Your crystals are important to you, aren't they? Reflections of your souls, right? Well,
oh, whoops.
Who are you to question our choice? You who fight without fear? We wish only to live in peace. And if this be the price we must pay, then so be it!
I'll never understand that
I
mentality.
know there's nothing I can say to convince you. But I hope that one day you look back and see we only ever wanted the same thing.
She was your earplugs and blindfold? Pretty much. She wasn't actually any kind of salvation.
Begone, damn you! Spare me your hollow words, and leave me to mourn.
I'll go. But it doesn't mean I'm giving up. Girabania is our home too. And one way or another, we're going to have to learn to live together. Come on. Alphino and Alize are waiting.
Meanwhile, in the Royal Palace of Alamigo. We're getting... Speaking of blindfolds, still enjoying Nier? Yeah, I just haven't had time to play much of it lately. Been super busy. Yeah. My schedule looks very...
Savage returns, and with her tail firmly between her legs, beaten by beastmen, I hear.
It was a shameful display, by all accounts. She may have curried the Viceroy's favor with her bold promises, but in the end, she's just another plodding bungler like the rest of her kind.
Strange. You would think him a better judge of character. Then again, I hear she's not averse to a more physical mode of persuasion.
Oh, they're insinuating she's a hoe. Meanwhile, in the Temple of Doom. Meanwhile, in the Temple of Doom. Pretty much.
I thought she rose through the ranks rather quickly, but no longer. If only she had been content with her lot, she might have lived to see the morrow.
I don't feel much sympathy for her at all, though. I don't feel sympathy. I don't feel sympathy for the skulls at all. Like again, like I said before, like several streams ago, a while ago, I don't fault them for trying to siding with the Garleans and wanting to make a life under their rule, believing that it's a better option. I don't fault that, but what I will 100% say is I don't feel sympathy for when it backfires on you. Like I can't feel sympathy for you when it backfires on you. That's on you.
Fedolorem Lupus.
Commander of the Crania Lupi, reporting as ordered.
Why do you tremble, sir?
I still stand by. I do like Xenos as a bad guy. He's like the Darth Vader of FF so far. And I like that. And again, I'll say it one more time. What I like what actually makes me like him as a villain, despite the fact that I hate him as like an individual in terms of the actions he's performed, but I love him as a villain because he actually backs up what he has to say. I like villains that are like Darth Vader, you know, that are super imposing, super intimidating, that are aggressive, that are powerful, and you can understand them easily to a certain degree, and almost respect them from a certain basic light of their motivations. But in the case of Xenos, that's why I like him. Yotsuyu is the bitchy, underhanded, cruel bitch that manipulates everything to her advantage. I hate that kind of villain. I hate the Grima Wormtongue villains, basically. Like the ones that just play the political game. I hate that. I like villains that are powerful, imposing, and are a threat to us, the characters and the players. Again, the Darth Vaders of villainy.
Could it be that the Empire's butcher is afraid? That she who walks with death is terrified of her own?
I'm terrified of dying having achieved naught. Gladly would I give my life to win a great victory on the battlefield, had I but the strength.
She's holding some in her hand. Okay.
Alas, you do not. Indeed, you are weak. And born of this weakness is a blind fervor, a raging inferno which threatens to consume not only you, but everyone around you.
Yes, my lord.
You were defeated by the Resistance on several occasions. You misjudged the Ananta and spurred them into summoning an icon. Have you anything to say?
I do not, my lord. My failures are my own. I am prepared to accept your judgment.
And that is very admirable. However, I've had enough of this dumb show. Give voice to that hunger I see in your eyes, or I will pluck them from your head.
Okay.
I want... I want to make them pay! All of them! Everyone who ever mocked or looked down on me! I want the power to make them pay!
Very well.
Again, another aspect about Xenos I respect.
A chance to transcend.
He's a total dick. I hate him, but
assuming that is, you are prepared to wager your life for such power.
Yeah. But again, I respect like the nature of him. He's very simplistic, but in his simplicity there's a bit of complexity. Like he respects strength. He respects it's a weird analogy to make, but he's kind of like Gordon Ramsay for like cooking. I know. Follow me on this one. Gordon, you know how Gordon Ramsay, if you've ever watched Hell's Kitchen or Kitchen Nightmares or anything like that, you'll know that to him, you can fuck up royally, but if you lose the will to stand tall and fight back and push back and get better, he tosses you out immediately. It's that given up kind of spirit or mentality that he senses that he'll immediately toss you out for having. It's kind of the same thing with Xenos. We've seen him kill several commanders in the past who have completely failed him, as we've seen Darth Vader do kind of the same thing. And he puts other people in charge who he thinks are more capable. But if those new people he puts in charge own up to it, and also still show him that they still got the fire to fight, he holds them alive and holds them to it. He still sees them as potential and capable of doing more. So again, it's that kind of villainy I can respect. Well, it's that kind of nature I can respect. I can respect that in a villain. I can respect it in a hero.
Transcend, my lord. I came here prepared to die. Tell me what I must do.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Wait, hold on. The 12, yeah, sorry, I'm reading back the chat. Meanwhile, in the Temple of Doom, I still agree with that. I do, asterisk, okay. I do sympathize with them. They're trying to survive in an abusive environment. Fordola was dramatically unprepared to deal with the gaslighting inherent in such a place. 012 above, I so pity Yotsuyu. I don't pity Yotsuyu, though. Thing is, I only pity people who are forced into a position that they had no choice. The Skulls had a choice. Fordola had a choice. Either stand aside and join the rebellion. Well, she had multiple, actually. You could either stand aside and try and live amongst the rabble. Shitty life. You could fight for the resistance and fight for your home. Or you can fight for the Garleans. And again, no matter what choice you made, I don't disrespect you or just look down on you for the choice that you make. I look down on you if the choice that you made backfires on you and then you want pity for that. No, like, you made your choice. You made the bed, lie in it. I feel no pity for once that happens. In Yotsuyu's case, we didn't get much about her backstory before she got crushed by a building. Maybe we'll get more in the future if she's still alive. It's one of those things where if you don't see them die, they're not in your arms dying and you have to bury them, you don't actually know that they're dead, so she might actually be alive. So might Gosetsu. But in the case of Yotsuyu, the only thing we got of her past up till now is a little bit of a flashback where she was being raised by her aunt, and her aunt was more or less ignoring her existence. Didn't show or describe any abuse, and once we got from her herself her own story, assuming she's telling the truth, she basically got she got sold as basically a whore wife. Then she had to, sleep around. One of her first husband died or failed. I can't remember the exact story now. But she then had to move around. Basically, she had to play the game and had to be sold around a lot. Don't get me wrong, she suffered for sure. She suffered for sure. But making other people suffer because you suffered, I feel no sympathy. Because I don't do that. Now, I've suffered in my life. Have I gone through the exact same thing? No. Have I gone through some very similar things to what Yotsuyu went through? Kind of. And in my case, I don't mind that nobody feels sympathy for my situation. I dated an abusive woman who beat the crap out of me and sent me to the hospital several times after hitting me in the ribcage with a baseball bat. Did all that? Did that rough life I've lived up till now? That's not even that's like the tip of the iceberg of stuff I've been through in my life. And I'm not here for a pity show, but I'm just saying, as an example. I've been through that kind of shit in life. Does that give me any kind of credence to be rude or off-putting or to be outwardly aggressive to other people? Let alone directly put them in misery? No. No. Not at all. So I don't feel sympathy for that. Your pain doesn't justify causing others, especially intentionally, causing other people pain. I cannot relate. Because I don't do that. The Witch King, Madara Uchiha. I am no man, I am a woman, Eowyn. Theoden's niece, you stand between me and my lord and kin. Begone if you be not deathless, or I shall slay you where you stand. A lot of Lord of the Rings quotes. I don't often memorize Tolkien's words, but when I do, it's cool lines like that. I hate Xenos as a person. As a character, he works. I hate him as a person as well. Well, I hate him. I definitely hate him for his actions and how he. It's one of those things where if we just look at like the baseline of how he looks at things, I can actually relate and sympathize. It's the way he translates it and stuff like that, and the pomp. It's combining the core nature of respecting a meritocracy, wanting people around you to be competent and strong, and removing those around you who are not, and people you can trust to be capable. That baseline, anyone can relate to, and I think that's respectable. It's his translation of that into his overly aggressive, assertive, and murderous attitude that it backfires and makes him a total dick. So yeah, I hate him as a person, especially in translation, but I respect and understand that core nature of his, which again makes him a more comparable villain. I think he's a really good villain, and probably the best addition to Stormblood has definitely got to be Xenos so far. Genichiro Ashina. I personally love this dude. He is like the perfect antithesis to your character. Yeah. Amazing foil. Gets turned into a cyborg monstrosity. Maybe. We already had one character before get turned into a cyborg monstrosity. So, could be. Just don't like the way Xenos is always insisting that my character is just like him. I mean, someone else kind of said this when we first met Xenos. And their argument makes sense. The argument being that with Xenos, it makes sense that he says that because both our character, or well, more aptly, us the player, and Xenos, both seek power. We're both trying to level up, get the best gear, get the best weapons, get the best of everything. That's what both us and Xenos are trying to do. Us the player, and Xenos, the character, are both seeking power to become stronger and more powerful than everybody else. And we always are seeking out a new challenge, a new hurdle to overcome. So in that baseline level, yes, we and Xenos are the same. Where we differ is obviously our character, and our character's motivations may not be that, but us, the player. There are stories you don't know yet, and maybe. Well, I say maybe. Yeah, there probably is. When we get to them, I might change my mind, but as it stands right now, I don't. As it stands right now, I don't relate or sympathize or even really pity Yotsuyu. I kind of did for a little bit when we learned a little bit more details about her backstory, but she kind of immediately nuked it by reminding me how much of a cold, heartless bitch she is. Again, I could sympathize and pity a person, and I could sympathize, empathize, and pity a person if, after all the pain that they've been through, they don't become, like, the very thing that they hate. They don't become, like, this evil person. But if you become an evil person, I'm sorry, but whatever, I don't care what your backstory is. What you do here in the now matters. I don't care if you've been tortured in your past. That doesn't give you credence to be a cold, heartless bitch. Also, Fordola has a short story available in the Lodestone Side Stories section. It's brand new. Okay. Trying to win over your conquerors with good behavior is futile. They'll never acknowledge you until there's no trace of conquered identity left. Ergo, Suzaku Kururugi from Code Geass. Yes. Suzaku is a very good example, actually, because he completely changed his core identity and he basically didn't. He basically wanted to be of the Britannian Empire. That's basically what he wanted to be. Like, he wasn't representing Japan well, and he didn't seem to want to be anymore. So, in my opinion, yeah, that's a good example. They don't want you, and they don't want your culture. They want you to bleed into theirs and become theirs. So, very good example. You and your virtue are not determined by what has happened to you, but by how you act out in the world. Correct. And that's pretty much how I view things. Everyone's got a sob story. Everyone's got a pity story. Like I said, I got mine. You know? I got sent to the hospital by an ex several times. Again, baseball bat to the ribs. Sucked, but doesn't give me any kind of credence to treat other people like garbage. Spreading misery spreading misery because you've suffered misery doesn't mean it doesn't follow. That doesn't work. It's the same mentality as a schoolyard bully. I'm bullied at home, so I get to bully others at school. That's not how it works. Nor should it be how it works. But yeah, that's my take. Get you another ship. There we go. I wish we could have left on better terms, but that was never going to happen. It could be a problem if they get their hands on any more crystals, though. Never mind. We'll deal with that when the time comes. I don't think those are better than what we got, but... Ooh. We get an ether cannon. Shore log. It looks like a kebab. Heavily spiced zo meat charred to perfection over an open flame, common fare amongst the nomadic steppe tribes. Ooh, that's making me hungry. Don't do that to me, game. I haven't eaten today. You've done us a great service this day. Long shall my sisters sing the praises of the Icon Slayer. Let us bear word to them of Sri Lakshmi's passing. Come, friends, to Viera Nilia. Yeah. Charlie here. Alright. The winds whispered of your success, and your eyes confirm their testimony. The Lady of Bliss no longer holds our Kalyana sisters in her thrall. For this we thank you. Shroud did the deed. Shroud did the deed. We were but witnesses to his heroism. However, I fear this is only the beginning, for there is no cure for that which drives the desperate to beseech the gods for salvation. Should they wish to use their crystals to summon Sri Lakshmi again, naught can be done to stop them. We ignore our sister's plight at our peril. This we know. We shall endeavor to show them another path, so that the day you speak of never comes. We're gonna be back. We're all in this together, Alamegans and Ananta. We understand that hopefully in time they will too. You and yours will ever be friends to the Vera, and that you have my word. We shall be getting back to the Peering Stones. Thank you again, Sorisha, for everything. Tell you. I like the Ananta. They're a cool race. Now. Oops. Now. Let's see here. Unexpected guests. Fuck off! Please wait. If you would just listen for just a moment. Ah, keep that thing away from me. I fear they won't listen to anything I have to say. Would you go after him and explain his people are trespassing? I must tend to my wounds. She was at least respectful about it. You know, she was attacked. She had to explain to those guys, hey, you're trespassing on our territory. Please don't. Kobolds are my favorite, despite my hatred of Titan and his cheap BS knockback mechanics. They are kind of cheap. They're funny, though. It is for me, it's very funny to... looking back on the Titan stuff I've gotten to do, fighting all of them on higher difficulties as well. Oh man, hold on, my leg. Oh. Stretching my leg. Ow. Ah. You were trying to help that thing, weren't you? What do you want? They only wanted us to leave their hunting grounds? So they're not savage monsters looking to feast on our innards? I see. Sorry about before. It's not every day you see something like that where I come from. Me and my friends are from a small village in the peaks, you see. With the Garleans blocking all ways in and out of the place, we'd never traveled far. Now that they're mostly gone, we thought we'd have a look about, maybe scavenge for a bit of food. We didn't mean no harm, honest. If it's all the same to you, we'll leave and go look for food somewhere far away from here. Oh, at least that got resolved. I hate Titan because of those mechanics and the fact that once off the edge, you're out of the fight entirely. Yeah. Titan did suck. The first boss I ever died, like actually the first time I died in the game wholesale was fighting Titan. Like I had not died once before we faced Titan in A Realm Reborn. So for me, like all that hype of how difficult he was going to be to beat was actually kind of real, because it was like, wow, even after all that prep, still I died to him. I only died once. On my second attempt, we beat him, but still. First death in the whole game was to Titan. His hitbox are janky as fuck. Well, yeah, sometimes you gotta attack his core, so... Oh, look, it's a giant elephant on the loose. Hold on, let's turn this in before we move on. Because the MSQ brings us to the Rising Stones. Rising Stones? Why does that sound wrong? The Peering Stones. Oh yeah, that's right. The Rising Stones is a different location entirely. You're returned. Were they willing to listen? I mean, after a swift beating, yes. Men from the peaks? Interesting. We were concerned the M tribe may have coerced them into stealing from our land. My sisters will be relieved to hear this. If these people are desperate enough to venture here for food, perhaps we can help them. A deal of some kind. A share of our food stores in exchange for materials for our gem crafting. Yes, that would be fair trade. I will need to discuss discuss this with my sisters. The beginning of a fruitful partnership may be at hand. Indeed. Yeah, those gave me nightmare for a while until I got better at the game. Yeah. Yeah. I look back on the Titan fight pretty fondly, even on the higher difficulties, because I think I've beaten Titan on the 3 difficulties, I think. Yeah, because I beat him on hard, and then I beat him on a higher one than that. I know that because I did it with Moon. Moon's a friend of mine in the game. I did that one with Moon, so yeah, I've fought him on higher difficulties. And I gotta say, I look back on the fight fondly, but I look back on it. I look back on all 3 times I fought him pretty fondly. Okay. Alright, first off, let's turn this one in. There we go. And that leaves how many ether currents left? Only 1 more, and we're here in the fringes, and we're gonna get that from finishing up this quest. Welcome back. Conrad and Marshal Towerpin came to render aid, but I hear that won't be necessary. It won't. Sri Lakshmi's gone. But I should probably start at the beginning. You see, we made Shroud do this shit by himself again. So, yeah. Same story as always. Incredible. I don't know what to say. If you hadn't been there to stop her, who knows where it would have ended. You've saved a lot of lives, Shroud. Take pride in that. I do. It must be said that this is something of an unprecedented situation. Previous summonings were, to my knowledge, planned well in advance by a tribe as a whole. Indeed, there are several aspects of this incident which bear further investigation. In any event, the Kalyana's supply of crystals must remain limited for the foreseeable future, and ambient aether levels closely observed. Understood. The Alliance will consult with the Resistance and Vera on how best to enforce said restrictions. Thank you. Thank you, Vice Marshal. To other matters, then. What news of the Imperials? None, which itself is troubling. It seems as though the Skulls and the remainder of the garrison have fully withdrawn into the peaks. We've seen neither hide nor hair of them since Veladina. Regardless of their reasons, our path is clear. Father has decided that it is time to advance east. Finally! He was also most emphatic that you be spared further duties for the present. You are to rest. It would not do for the Warrior of Light to collapse from exhaustion during the march. We may not be as strong or as quick as him, but we are soldiers nonetheless. We can deal with the Imperials. Aye, you've earned this respite. So enjoy it. And the same goes for you, Monago. You've been away from your family too long. Don't deny it. As you say, sir. Thank you. We'll make the most of our time here. Alright. Looks like it's up to me and mine to give you a lot of proper welcome. My mother prepared a special meal for this occasion, and I have it on good authority that hers is the finest cooking this side of the Veladina. Awesome. Let's get some grub. Extreme? Yes. Thank you. Yeah, hard, extreme. We're meeting the family. Honored guests, I pray you partake of our humble offerings as we give thanks for your many valiant deeds. Ooh. Chicken. And sausages. Thank you, sir, for this warm welcome. We are honored to break bread with you and your family. Did they... Do Mikate ever fucking age? the ladies, anyway? Come, come, eat your fill of our food, and drink deep of our spirits. There is more than enough for all. Well, when you put it that way, don't mind if I do. Yum yum! I'm staring out into the depths, pondering. She wasn't kidding when she said her mother could cook. You know, seeing her with her family, I can't help thinking of my own. Backstory no jutsu. How my father would come home from a hunt with dinner on his shoulder, and Ida would prepare it with herbs and spices. My mother died when I was little, so she did most of the cooking. We didn't have much, but we had each other, and that was enough for me. But they wouldn't let us eat. They wouldn't. But they wouldn't. I can't talk. But they wouldn't let us have even that. Theodoric, Gaius, of course, father and Ida had to fight. I would have too, if I'd been older, but they didn't have to die. It never ends, does it? They call us beasts, and they treat us like them. They push and they push and they... until someone pushes back. Until someone takes up arms or summons a god. A false god. If the 12 are watching us, what are they thinking? What are they thinking when they see the strong hurt the weak? When people fight and die? And nothing gets better and it just goes on and on and on. There is no justice, just us. There is no justice. Come on, okay. It took me a second to say, there is no justice, just us. Really? I believe in justice, just us. You'd have to ask them. I don't think the gods listen to people like me. Thanks for listening. I know I was just rambling, but I feel better somehow. Who knows what the answers are, or if there even are any. Either way, life goes on, and we've got to go with it. Sorry, that sounded better in my head. I must be getting tired. Time to turn in, I think. Tomorrow's another day, eh? Let's see what it brings. Sleep well, Shroud. Aye, aye. I just had a random thought sleep into my head. It was very random. But, as I was kind of pondering it over, they've really hit the nail on the head throughout the entire game so far about crystals and summoning gods, and that the beliefs of those summons are... the beliefs behind those who summon their gods define their god's personality, and how belief in those crystals is solely what summons them. You know, never mind, because we already know that we already know what I'm thinking is wrong. So I don't know. For some reason, the idea came in my head that that maybe us, the Warrior of Light, was also kind of a summon creation type deal for the people, but we already know that Hydaelyn brought us into the world, so that is incorrect. I don't know why it slipped into my mind, especially since I know it's not correct, but it's a cool thought for like a brief second. There's something to be said for a home-cooked meal, is there not? Yes, and I cook the best home-cooked meals. Speaking of, I gotta probably have to make a late lunch here soon. There is something to... Okay, I'd read that. We must cherish these moments, fleeting as they are. The fight will always be there, waiting for us to return. Ah, man. Determination. No, Mikte women do not seem to visibly age at all, ever. I envy that. Goddamn. Her dad looks like a humanoid big flopper. What? A lot of people speculated that the Warrior of Light was a primal before Shadowbringers. Well, the thing is, it's blatantly untrue, though. Like, unless everything in the plot up to now has been incorrect, Heidelin's the one who brought us into the world. So, it was a thought that slipped into my head, but for everything we've seen up till now, we know it's not true. But, given my own... Heidelin did not create the Warrior of Light. That was my impression through our interactions with Heidelin. I mean, that's what it came off to me as, anyway. But even if she didn't make us... even if she didn't make us, I highly doubt we're... well, even if she didn't make us, why would Heidelin's chosen be a primal? One of her chosen, anyway. We have the protection of Heidelin, and again, why would we be that if we were a primal? The primals, seemingly up to now, have all been very anti-Heidelin, I guess, to a degree. Mostly I say that because of what Garuda said about Heidelin's chosen and protection and stuff like that. Is it true that one time in 40k a Space Marine killed thousands of orcs by making gun noises with his mouth and making them believe he still had ammo? No, that did not happen in the lore, but it was a fan idea. Has that happened canonically in the lore? No, that happens. That was not a fan fiction. I guess it counts as a fan fiction, but it was just a fan idea that someone had. It was really funny. So no, it's not. That did not happen in the lore, but it was like an idea that someone has. Like, oh, if this were to happen, if this it was a fan made community thing. But it's true it is true that the community came up with that kind of fun story, and technically it is possible in the lore to happen. And again, if the orcs collectively believe something, it makes it reality. So if they all believe that the enemy has ammo, and they yell bang, and then technically, in all intents and purposes, that it becomes real. But no, that has not happened in canonical and lore. Just fan fiction. Highland just gave us a boost in power, and boost in defense primarily. Yeah, and there are still unanswered questions that I'm hoping to see answered in Endwalker. Okay. I trust you are well rested and refreshed, yes? Then let us return to the front. The greater part of the Alliance forces should have advanced into the peaks by now, but I expect we will pass many of our own comrades on the road, east. There is a checkpoint along the way, as I recall, but we will need only to identify ourselves to the soldiers in order to pass. Excuse me. Alright, so we've got all the Ether current missions for the fringes. So now we just gotta hunt down all the Ether currents out in the zone, and then we can fly! Alright, so where are we heading? And of course, like I said, when you unlock all of the ether stuff in a zone, that's when you move on to a goddamn new zone. Every fucking time. Alright, here we are. Alliance recruit. Alright, let me through. Scions, a pleasure to have you with us again. You'll be happy to hear we've taken Alagiri and have already begun fortifying it as our new base of operations in the peaks. Give a shout to the lads as you pass, eh? Open the gate. Yes. Girabanya, the peaks. Us in the squad rolling up.
I remember how they laughed. Alliance and Resistance soldiers, eager for battle, trading jokes as we marched east towards the peaks. Beyond this last line of defenses lay the locks and the city. Breaching it would be no small feat.
I sense end of expansion raid.
But we beat the Imperials back, just like that. And we liberated a village, the first of many.
As you can see, this part of the peaks is much higher than the northern reaches, hence why the Imperials built Specula Imperatoris where they did. See those three towers to the east? That's her. Sits right on the edge of a cliff, so attacking from the north is a fool's errand. From the south, on the other hand, she's no different from any other Imperial installation. You see now why Veladina was so important, eh? Right then. Come along, they're waiting for us at Alagiri. Ooh. It looks like a boat. A really damn big boat. Aether current! Why are you on the other end of a damn valley? A bottomless abyss. Fuck you. Oh, hello. Hello, Mr. Tiger. Don't mind me, just sightseeing. Tiger, lion, whatever the hell you are. Like making Minfilia her literal puppet and mouthpiece. Yeah, that was fucked up. I'm still suspicious about Hydaelyn, but at the same time, kind of gotta roll with her for now. Like, So give Heidelin the benefit of the doubt at the moment. Mephilia volunteered. Yeah, but she was also not likely to refuse. Like, Heidelin chose her, her avatar well, I suppose. I will say this, I don't want to assume the worst of Heidelin. I do think it'll be very interesting. I guess what I'll say is I'll prefer it if she's not just goody two shoes goddess crystal. Like, I would like there to be, ironically, a bit of light and dark to her. Dark in the sense of not actual, like, evil, but, like, more by our standards, morally questionable motivation or acts. It would add some depth to her as a motivating force. As opposed to just being the goddess of good and light and happiness and all that junk. Here we are, the new base of operations for the Alliance and the Resistance. Ah, there you are. Greetings, General. I see you have been quite busy in our absence. Less than you may imagine. The Imperials fled at our coming, and we took the village without a fight. Your timing is impeccable. We were about to discuss our strategy to seize Specula Imperatoris. Though we are fresh from the road, we should be glad. Though we are fresh from the road, we should be glad to attend. Good. Take a moment to gather yourselves and join us when you're ready. Aye, aye, Cap. All right. Hold on. Let me. I have to check something real quick. I'm waiting on a message from a friend to, because if they wanted to get lunch today, if they were available, they weren't know if their shift was gonna run later than they should. So just checking to see if they messaged me. They didn't message me on Facebook Messenger. Now I'm looking at something else real quick. Sorry. Just noticed it. Really? Okay. Yeah, sorry. Bit distracting. Well, you heard the Flame General. Looks like we've got a meeting to attend. Indeed we do. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick and send my friend a text while I'm doing so, so I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes. Hold on. To leave you not without any visual candy. Oh, press the wrong button. Crap, which one was it? Oh, I'm an idiot. 9. There we go. Enjoy. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. My friend hasn't texted me back yet, so we'll keep going. Yeah. Hydaelyn is an entity of peace and possibly stasis. Kind of like how nothing really changes during times of peace. Societal change only happens during times of upheaval or darkness. Okay. Well, yeah. And the thing is, I understand that for the most part. As far as I've already kind of... As far as the... I spoke about it during when we were doing the Warriors of Darkness arc during Heaven's Ward. But I'll kind of repeat myself a little bit. That whole arc kind of made a very good point. And I already thought about it before that, but I didn't really voice it much. So, but the thing is, at the end of the day, there needs to be a balance of light and dark. Yes, peace times we think of like good, think of happy, but we also kind of think of stagnation. You don't change unless there's a reason to, and unfortunately, 99% of the reasons to change are bad. Like, you know, let's, from small things like, well, small, to the grand scheme of things, let's say you're overweight, right? That presents health complications and health problems, right? So you seek to change that by getting healthier, by getting thinner, by getting more muscly toned. You seek to change that situation for not only life reasons, not only comfortability reasons, but you also seek to change that. You seek to change that because the situation you're in is bad. You know, you're looking at a lot of negatives which enforce your need to change. If you don't change, because if you don't have to change, then you stagnate. But you could argue that's an element of peace. I would say we need an element of both light and dark in the world. It needs to be a balance. There do need to be conflicts, hopefully, preferably of a smaller kind, like a disagreement of philosophy or a disagreement of like a minor scale. Preferably small bits of conflict like that in the world are kind of necessary for life to be given meaning. Without the difficulties or strifes in life, what reason is there to exist? If you don't have something to overcome, what do you have to look forward to? What do you have to strive for? Conflict and therein is necessary for life and existence. So it's kind of, you kind of need a balance. But neither should overwhelm the other. There shouldn't be so much conflict in the world that it's unbearable, lives are being lost en masse, things like that. Like, the types of conflict that we want to manage are of a smaller, much significantly smaller scale. So you need a balance at the end of the day. You need small conflicts in the world to give your life meaning, but at the same time the big ones in the world, like starvation, death, things like that, if we don't have those in the world, it would be a better place. And we could focus on those smaller conflicts within ourselves to live a better, more healthy life. Is that realistic? Unfortunately, no. We don't live in a world where we don't live in a world of balance, and neither does Eorzea. By the looks of it, things are constantly shifting between those balances. So the goal is simply to try and find an even ground. So in the case of Eorzea, Hydaelyn shouldn't be overpowering whatever dark god. I can't remember the name of it. I know that the Ascians have said it before. But Hydaelyn shouldn't be overpowering the dark god that they worship, and likewise, the dark god that they worship should not be overpowering or suppressing Hydaelyn. They should be of an equal compelling pushback between each other. Their conflict needs to be sustained for life to be sustained. Zodiark, okay, thank you. Yeah, so Zodiark and Hydaelyn need to both exist, and they both need to be kept in conflict with one another, but on equal playing field. Kind of preaching to the choir, I know, but sometimes it's just good to voice the thought. Star Wars kind of has a little bit of that too, with like the Sith and the Jedi, and the Chosen One really needing to represent a balance between the two. All right. That everyone? Then let us begin. Alagiri is ours, and for a mercy we took it without losing a single man, but we dare not grow complacent. Specula Imperatoris will not be so easily won. If I may, General, should we not pause to consider the Imperial's motivations? For Xenos to surrender a fortified settlement of strategic importance without so much as firing a shot is inexplicable. We searched the village and found no traps or other signs of sabotage. Suspicious though it may be, I will not refuse this gift from our enemy. The path to Alamigo is through the east, through Specula Imperatoris and Castramabania. It appears repeating. It bears repeating, however, that the latter is not. I can't fucking talk today. The latter is home to a massive cannon with unparalleled range and destructive power. Which means that we will need to strike Specula Imperatoris quickly, both to limit their ability to locate our forces in the field and to utilize the installation as a shield against attack, as they would doubtless not risk damaging the towers. I see. Then we have no choice but to accept that we have what we have been given. Aye. That's the way of it. I have no doubt that Xenos has something planned, but we'll just have to deal with it when the time comes. To the assault, then. The main host will commence a direct assault on Specula Imperatoris. During this time, I would hold the Scions in reserve at Alagiri, to deal with any Imperial forces that may be dispatched in response. Understood. Wait a minute, we should be fighting with you in the Resistance. I don't understand. You don't want to rely too much on Shroud after what he's been through, but at least let the rest of us do our part. If she wants to fight, I say let her fight, yeah. Thanks, I knew you understand. It is good to forewarn her about being... The thing is, I think it would fall on deaf ears if we just simply said, hey, you know, just be careful. Mayhap it would be best if I accompanied you. Alize can stay with Shroud. Oh, go if you must. The two of us can take care of ourselves. You have your orders. Dismissed. Meanwhile, deep within an Imperial research facility. Okay. Okay. Kryl! I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot where the hell she was. Up till now. Alright, Fendola.
Oh, my head.
I wonder what they did to her.
Let us see. So, she lives. Impressive. Or merely lucky, though that too may prove a useful trait.
My lord, what have you done to me?
I'm curious about that too.
Though we Guardians are intellectually and physiologically superior in almost all respects, we lack the hereditary traits required for the reliable manipulation of ether, hence our unique inability to wield magics. This deficiency, for want of a better word, saw us subjected to decades of oppression by the lesser races, and we were eventually driven to seek shelter in the cold northern reaches of Ilsabar. Fortunately, said region was replete with vast deposits of ceruleum, which proved instrumental in the development of Magitech, a revolutionary technology conceived to compensate for our disadvantage. It was with Magitech that we grew strong, that our nation became an empire. Yet, ultimately, this was an extrinsic solution to an intrinsic problem. What I wanted was not a crude device to be used in lieu of magic. Through modification of the Garlean genome, I argued that it might be possible to enhance a subject's ability to manipulate ether, effectively empowering them to wield magics. Alas, my theories were met with consternation in the Imperial Court. Only Lord Xenos, with commendable foresight and wisdom, deigned to support my research.
Okay. I'm not sure what this has to do with... because she's not Garlean. Then again, he does speak about improving the genome to enhance the ability to manipulate ether. So in her case, it might be easier to enhance her ability in her genome to manipulate ether, because she already has the disposition, as opposed to a pure-blooded Garlean, which doesn't. Am I understanding that correctly, or... I don't know, I don't know, I'll let him explain.
You gave me this treatment, but I'm not Garlean.
Alamegan, through and through. What you have been granted is far greater than mere magic. Before that lesser light, it is as a second sun.
I am informed that Alagiri was recently occupied by the Resistance, and that an attack on Specula Imperatoris is considered imminent. This could provide an ideal opportunity to test her performance in the field.
Your skulls, was it? They have joined the garrison at the watchtower?
Yes, my lord. By your leave, I would rendezvous with them and lead a counterattack against the insurgents.
No. Even were you to leave now, you would not arrive in time. There is another duty I would entrust to you.
Thankard. Fucking ninja.
Found you.
Without being one. Another duty to interest. I wonder what he's going to assign her. Curious. Very curious. So full of fire and eager, weren't they? Well, I wouldn't worry too much. They're strong, and they have each other. At least he spared me the trouble of having to speak up. I wasn't about to let Lise go alone. We have a fair bit of ground to cover, so we should split up. If you come across any Imperial soldiers, you know what to do. Oh, and so you know, I sent word to Arenvald's squadron. They are already searching... they're already searching other nearby areas, so we have allies in the event we encounter anything beyond our means. Okay. Evil Booba. I'm so sorry. Not so unique. Thancred shares it. In a bit of yeah, he does. But he makes up for it by being a badass ninja. without being a ninja. Reminds me of that one guy in Stargate SG-1 who made robot versions of SG-1 and him saying, "I made you better." Basically take magic gene from Eorzean and put it in a Garlean genomes. Less Les Enfants Terribles, the genome soldiers from Metal Gear Solid 1. Zidane says, what? Okay. Interesting. So let's tune real quick and get on our merry way. Actually, hold on. What's the name of this quest? Hell's Open. Alright. Real quick. I just want to see how far along we are in the MSQ. Okay, Hell's Open. So, without looking at the names of the quests, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 more quests left in Core Stormblood. Then we're done, guys. And scrolling through, we've done a lot more than that throughout the expansion. Holy goddamn. We've done a lot so far. It's hard to believe. So, actually, you guys told me I was only halfway last time. Well, not last time, but the time before last time I streamed FF, I asked how far along you guys thought I was. You guys said halfway. I'm looking at it like this. We're way more than halfway. We're on the home stretch of Core Stormblood. Like, we only got a handful of... Yeah, I would consider it 17. A handful of quests left before we're done the... I'm not looking at the names. I don't know if that'll spoil anything. But we're only a handful of quests. Really, though? Like, that sounds wrong, though. Because there's 2 more zones here that we haven't unlocked. Like, we only just got here to this zone. In the peaks, yeah. I'm confused. Is there another zone we haven't gotten to yet? Huh. Oh yes, here's the Lokes. Say, I don't know what that entails, but it's a pretty large area, so still got that to unlock. Are we really gonna do all that in only 17 quests, though? That seems pretty fast. It was called Genome. Oh, okay. Again, keep in mind, Marike. I've only played Final Fantasy VII and this. I've not played any other Final Fantasies. I am vastly ignorant when it comes to the lengthy, long history of Final Fantasy. For the most part. Alright, so we have 17 more quests. So I don't think we're gonna get through them all today. Like, each quest is probably gonna take like a half hour minimum. So, but let's keep going. Let's get this next one done. Leave me alone, grasshopper. Literally. Time to die. Ah, I'm bored of this shit. Cha-ching, baby. Speaking of MGS, Lolorito's Aroma voice actor was Cam Clark, also known as the voice of Liquid Snake. Oh, nice. Sam Clark, huh? Alize, I see you've been busy as well. Ah, give me a moment, Shroud. Say that again, if you would. No. Maintain your distance for now. Understood. Keep me appraised of any developments. That was Arenvald. The pair that was spying on us in the fringes has followed us here. What about you, Shroud? Any trouble? Ah, there I was thinking we might be due for some peace and quiet. Glad to hear you dealt with them. I hope the assault on Specula Imperatoris is going well. Ooh, we get an overview. And it's very weird to hear machine gun fire. Again, the man's doing all this shit one-armed. Yeah, Pepin!
You've improved, lad.
He's got to. His dad's only got one arm. Gotta make up for it.
Come now, father. You lured the fool onto my blade, and do not try to deny it.
Our work here is all but done.
What the fuck was that?
What of Conrad and his men?
I heard right in this ear. Ah. Sorry, that broke all immersion. What the hell was that? It's like someone leave a hentai tab open or something. Like, what the fuck? The fuck?
They are for the main tower. The skulls have offered fierce resistance thus far, but Conrad seems to believe he can convince them to lay down their arms.
Then we will tend to the stragglers down below. With me.
Hell yeah. Lalafell go wah. The Galleons. Meanwhile, in the Temple of Doom.
Report.
Enemy forces have overrun the lower facilities and appear to be mounting an assault on the main tower. We have already received a request for reinforcements. A unit of legionaries has been mustered and is ready to depart. They await your orders, Commander.
Stand down.
Commander?
tell them to stand down.
Commander, if I may, our people, your people, are still in there. They will be slaughtered.
You think I don't know that? I want nothing more than to help them. To lead the bloody charge. But I have my orders. Lord Xenos said no reinforcements. He would have us use the main cannon to destroy the installation.
What? Kill our own soldiers? You must be mistaken.
Sounds like something he would want done.
You'd like to ask Lord Xenos yourself.
Or was it his orders? It probably was. There's a chance that she's going rogue. And is more determined to...
I thought not. Initiate the firing sequence. Wars are won on the backs of the dead. Theirs and ours. There is no truth but this. We must remain firm and resolute and always, always do our duty. Now, give the order.
Initiate firing sequence.
Aye, aye. Initiating firing sequence. Release safety locks. Deploy main cannon.
Rudolph, Emlyn. For us. For our people. For our future.
I need you to confirm the target, Commander.
Specula Imperatoris, main tower. Fire when ready.
You may fire when ready. Very eerily quiet. It's kind of the same sound effect when we go into the echo. That's a big fucking gun. Oh boy.
What in the seven hells?
Long-range artillery.
Those treacherous bastards. Their people were still fighting. Full retreat! Now! Relay the orders!
Understood. All forces retreat! I repeat, all forces retreat!
I do like there's actually like terrain stuff falling. 'Cause that actually makes it feel like it's actually crumbling and falling apart. I've seen sequences like this in MMOs before though, and because you know the animation budget ain't the greatest, that they just have like the camera shake and stuff like that and call it good. Star Wars: The Old Republic comes to mind. Like there's several sequences where something's about to cave in and the camera just shakes, but there's like an effect of like dust coming down, but there's no actual like actual stuff coming down. It's a small addition, but it really makes it look better. By the 12, did you see that? The main tower just collapsed. You heard it too, didn't you? It must have been the cannon at Castrum Arbania. But that was an Imperial installation, and their troops were still... Damn it. No one's responding. I don't know if the shell is being jammed or... We have to go right now. They need our help. Evans rap? Evans weep, okay. It's worse than it looks. He probably wasn't even put his stuff together. The gate. This is our way inside. We need to find my brother right now. The locks on the massive gate appears to be disabled. You need only right... Okay. Alright, still breathing. That one's not, so he's dead. I'm glad you're here, Shroud. In case it isn't obvious, the Imperials fired on us and on Specula Imperators. I didn't think they had it in them to kill their own men just to kill us. Gods damn them all! Where's my brother? Tell me where he is. I want to see him. He was in the tower when it was struck. But that need not mean anything. Our forces are still evacuating, and many remain unaccounted for. Alize, listen. There are soldiers wounded and dying all around us. Soldiers with families just like you and me. They need our help, do you understand? It's alright. I'll take the north. You take the east. Thank you. I think I can manage on my own. For a moment there I thought I was bound for Thal's Great Hall. Ye gods, what were the Imperials thinking? I don't think they were thinking past surface level. Just give me a moment to let the world stop spinning, would you? There, Alagiri's not far. I'll make it. Whoops. Everything hurts. I think I was struck by debris from the tower. I know you. Shroud Scythe, Ward of House Fortom. We fought together on the steps of faith. You saved my life back then. And now I can walk. Thank you. 1,000 times thank you. Conrad! Conrad, can you hear me? Now go put him down over there. Oh, fuck. Here we go.
Conrad! Conrad, speak to me!
It's moving so, at least.
It was all so sudden. Conrad had just convinced the last few skulls to surrender when we heard the bang and everything started to shake. We carried the survivors to safety, but Conrad's... We have done what we can for him. All that remains is to pray.
Conrad?
Is that you, Lise? I can't see a damn thing. Well, that's that then. Time's up.
What are you talking about? You'll be on your feet before you know it.
It's all right, Lise. I've lived long enough. But listen, I want you to lead the resistance in my stead.
Don't say another word. You'll recover. We'll recover. We'll bring freedom to Alamigo together. We're not going to stop here.
No, you won't. Everything we've built, everyone we've brought together, I know you'll show them the way. You've got it in you, Lise. Not because you're Curtis's daughter or Ida's sister, but because you're you. Because you're you.
Conrad.
Lead them to victory. To freedom.
I will, Conrad. I will. I promise.
I knew it was coming, so I was able to prepare myself. Still sucks though. I gotta commend the voice acting though. That was really well performed. I'm getting way too used to characters dying. It's getting annoying. The fact that I'm getting used to it is annoying.
Next round, double the charge.
What the? Estinian?
Come, Nidhogg. We are needed.
Hey, whoa. How's he still have Nidhogg power shit? What? I do like his new armor just from a glance at it, but what the fuck?
That's the cerulean pipeline!
Huh?
Impossible! How can one man... Shoot the bastard! Shoot him!
My lance has slain far greater beasts.
Okay.
You're welcome, boy.
Unify all units! I want that intruder found! And get the engineers to fix my bloody cannon!
Dragoons and the bloody jumping off into the heavens and shit.
The savages are coming!
Yeah, and you don't got a giant cannon no more, you morons. Okay, we knew Estinian was coming. Because we've seen flashes of him before now. But why is it every time he shows up, it's just doing something random? And then we don't see him again for like 30 quests. Is he ever going to meet up with us, or was that literally it? Because he said, "You're welcome, boy," and then jumped off. Well, man who sounds like Sean Bean gets Sean Beaned. He didn't sound like Sean Bean. I don't understand the whole Nidhogg connection anymore. Yeah, I don't at all. He's still amazing. Yeah, he is, but like, the fuck? I think Estinian took a bit of Nidhogg's power on the way out. Maybe? We could have killed them. We could have walked away. But instead we tried to convince them to lay down their arms. We tried to seek a peaceful resolution. Hey, how many other times is that going to backfire for you, Alphino? We showed them mercy. And this was their response? And this was their response. Fire and blood. This was their answer. Such crimes cannot go unpunished. They must not. God is my witness, there will be a reckoning. Finally! Alphino's growing some balls. Forgive me. Now is not the time for vows of vengeance. We must remain calm and rational, and in control. Damn it! He was going down the route of respectable. Now he's back to, oh no, it must be diplomacy and conversation and shit. Yeah, but the Imperials have just fired a fucking rocket at us. Sorry, a giant cannon. The Imperials have demonstrated a willingness to fire on their own. So long as we remain here, we are in danger. We three will see to Commander Kemp's body. Find my sister and return to Aligiri. Of all places for there to be an ether current. Let's grab it real quick. There, that should suffice for now. Go on and join the others. Tell me you found Alphino. Tell me he is alright. Oh, thank the 12. I don't know what I would have done. Though, saying that, what will the Resistance do without Commander Kemp? Sorry, not here, not now. We should return to Aligiri. Keep an eye out for any wounded who need our help along the way. Oh, we're having an Imperial here. It wasn't long ago I was trying to kill you and yours. I have expected you was about to slit my throat. To hell's with this. I should be back home in Ilsabad, instead of taking fire from my so-called comrades. True. I mean, he was soaked in his blood for a while, and was, as he puts it, drowning in his ocean of endless hatred. That neither really imply getting power, though. Especially since we know the power from dragons comes from their eyes. So unless he still has a fragment of his eyeball. Thanks, friend. Bloody tourniquet came loose and I was having trouble getting it back on. I should be fine the rest of the way. Right, wouldn't it make more sense for Minago to take over the Resistance? Because she's like the last remaining senior officer of it. I don't know. That just came to mind. Like, Lise, by all intents and purposes, is still a new... I don't know. Maybe that doesn't follow as much. Oh, bless you, kind... Wait, is that you, Shroud? I didn't recognize you at first. Been feeling a bit dizzy. Must have lost a lot of blood. I can keep going. I can keep going. Oh, don't die on me. Fuck off! Piss off! Shroud. We have given our Commander Kemp's remains for safekeeping. Given over Commander Kemp's remains for safekeeping. Later, I have no idea when... Rites must needs be performed. For now, however, we must carry on. We must press forward. We must not give in to despair. All Alliance and Resistance units have now withdrawn from Specula Imperatoris. It is time we spoke with General Alden. While the source of the eye, while the power source. Why am I yawning? It's so early afternoon. What the fuck? While the power source is the eyes, the flesh still contains ether. Ether, which in theory could be absorbed given the right circumstances. That's my best guess. My best guess, at least. I don't know. I think they just forgot to explain it. That would be my guess. Is that the writers just they wanted him to have a power boost from all that, and they didn't have a good explanation, so they just didn't explain it. Unless they do explain it later on, but sometimes you just don't need to explain a power boost. It's just like, he's stronger now. We'll just say that. These deaths weigh heavy on my soul. Commander Kemp's most of all. He was a wise leader. He was a patriot. But above all else, he was a good man who will be sorely missed. One of many lost this day. I ask for a moment's silence to pray for the souls of the departed. We have suffered a grievous defeat, but we can, usually that's one word, but we cannot and will not renounce this cause. The die has been cast. Hold tight to this grief, this anger, and let it drive you forward. Let it be your strength and your shield when next you face the enemy. He will carry us far, General. If that I have no doubt. Ere we take another step forwards towards Alamigo, however, we must first address the question of how to deal with the Castrum Urbanius cannon. If the Imperials are willing to employ the weapon without thought for their own soldiers' safety, we may struggle to approach them. A frontal assault is out of the question. We'd lose countless men before we even reach the walls. Would we? Recall that the Imperials could have obliterated our forces had they kept firing, but neglected to do so. They had no strategic reason to cease fire, which begs the question, why did they? You suspect they were unable to fire the cannon again? Mayhap due to a malfunction? Or one of their officers found his conscience after the first barrage. Or a heretofore unknown resistance faction chose that moment to disable it. There are many possibilities, but the fact remains that they stopped when logic dictated that they continue. Then I'll just have to go and see for myself if the cannon is still operational. Are you mad? Conrad put you in charge of the resistance. We can't risk losing another commander so soon. I know how you feel, Nago. I do. But I need you to understand. It wasn't long before Papalymo and I arrived at Rauga's Reach. Well, for a second I thought I misread that. Rauga's Reach that Conrad first asked me to join the resistance, and then he kept on asking. Every time I said no, I told myself it was because of the Scions, but even then I knew deep down that it was an excuse, and I was still afraid of following my heart, because I couldn't be sure if it was for me or for Ida. But then I met someone on the other side of the world who had struggled with the same worries, and as we traveled and fought together, I saw him grow and become the leader of his people needed to be. And now it's my turn to do the same. There's not a lot of us left, and the ones that are, many are still wounded. We have to make do with what we've got, and I'm the best qualified. It's as simple as that. But don't worry, Nago. I'll come back, I promise. Well, I acknowledge Commander Hext's right to carry out this mission. It's gonna be weird hearing that. We're Commander Hext's right to carry out this mission. I see no reason why she should go do so alone. Shroud, would you go with her? I suppose someone's gotta keep her out of harm's way. I would have done it even if you hadn't asked. Then it's settled. We will await your return. Sorry to drag you into this, Shroud. It may not be the decision Conrad would have made, but I'm not but I'm not Conrad. I never will be. I don't know what kind of leader he was hoping for, but right now, all I can do is be myself. That's about what he was hoping for. Above the churning waters. If you don't mind, I'd rather not wait around and have people try to talk me out of it. Let's get moving. I know a good vantage point overlooking the Castrum. Nyumkremph's hope that hope. The ship's stranded on the rocks to the east of here. It shouldn't take us long to get there. Oh, but there might be some ancient golems guarding it. Or that might just be an old wives' tale. Either way, it's worth the risk. Lise, Commander, I pray you proceed with all due caution. Do not hesitate to call upon us if needed. To reach the ship, we'll have to scale the cliff face. I'll get some climbing gear and meet you there, alright? So there we go. I got vibrated like a couple minutes ago. Okay. Good as timing as any, I suppose. Alright, so we're gonna call it there today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna pick this back up. If not tomorrow, because I might play some more Total War tomorrow, but if not tomorrow, then the day after. Yeah, we're making progress. We're almost done. Core Stormblood. We're making progress. Thank you guys so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys tomorrow on whatever stream I do, or the day after. And next week is the birthday Q&A stream on Friday the 24th for those who are interested in coming, around noontime Eastern Standard Time, which is 5 o'clock if you're in the UK, more specifically Britain. 5 o'clock there. It's 7 o'clock if you're in Bulgaria, for example, and it's 6 o'clock if you're like Germany, Norway, that kind of place. And if you're in Texas, it's an hour before that, so it'll be 11. All right. Hope to see you again soon. Yep. Hope you're willing to stop by soon. Anyway, get you guys later. Bye.